You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 70 with Prison Joe. Prison Joe, how you doing today?
Wide.
Or Seth. Seth, I'll call you. I got to start calling people by the
That
first name
works
because I
too.
changed my name to my first name. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm wide, I'm hard, I'm caffeinated, and I am bricked up for this podcast, honestly. And just to let everybody know, Mr. Sater was late today. So change his name to Sater. Change his name to Sater, and he's late to his own show. So here we are.
I'm late to a lot of my shows. I swear to God. It's like, well, part of it, and this is not excuses. I want the guest to have.
Let me ask you this. Were you late when you had Foe on? Were you late?
Absolutely not. What the fuck, man? That's Foe we're talking about. We're talking just Prison Joe here. Normal old Prison Joe, you know.
That's true. That's fair. I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know. Like, legit, I think I've been late to about half of the Sae Bae Cast. It's always just like a few minutes. And again, not excuses, but like I let the guest decide exactly when they generally want to have it set up. And so sometimes I'll have a person that says, I want to record at 9 a.m. And then some people will be like, I want to record at 9 p.m. And my sleep schedule's fucked like every single week. And so like today I fell asleep at like noon and I realized I had to wake up at like 4 to get ready for this. And I was like, I need an extra hour of sleep.
Are you on the rotating degenerate like cycle where you're just where you continue to stay up and then you like slowly cycle around to where you're waking up at like a normal like work day time?
It generally tends to do that. But like right now it's like perma stuck at like sleeping during the day and it's really bad. And then I had to go help my brother out for a little bit because he was getting back from work. So
I see. Well, I'm excited to be on the cast. It's a long time coming. Not too many people know, but I did some rough math the other day. I've known you for over 3 years, I believe. I think I've known you probably 2 years or so. Like I actually known you, but as far as like watch you, because I tell people all the time, like you, Mr. Fat Clouds, Mr. Creel, and Neil 4D, when you guys are the first streams I watched.
Yeah.
And which reminds me, which I meant to ask for Neil, when is Sae Bae Peach coming back? Because the real OGs know. Okay, but I want Sae Bae Peach back, honestly.
All right, I will literally, because you decided to come on the cast, I will bring back Sae Bae Peach tomorrow. How about that?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
By the way,
there's other people too who want that back. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no. I don't think you are. I think there's one other person, Creel. No, but real talk, I will bring it back. But keep in mind that my prefix changed, so it's instead of Sae Bae with the Y's, it's with the E's, and it is fucking with my head. I just can't get it down. So maybe that was a mistake, but I wanted to like clear the Y's from my name.
Oh, I'm glad that you changed the name, and also gives another topic. Is there any specific reason why you did? Are you planning on venturing outside of RuneScape and you wanted a more, I don't know, a different name or something?
So, well, I'll talk about this as well. Like, I'll make a dedicated video, so like this isn't the only place I'm talking about it. But yeah, pretty much I've had a lot of confusion basically throughout my entire stream career of like, is it Sae Bae? Is it Sae Bae? Is it Sae Bae with a Y? Is it Sae Bae with an E? Is it Sater because your Twitch handle or your Twitter handles that? And is there like a space? It was confusing as fuck, and it still is. I mean, I haven't consolidated everything, but I feel like for the most part, people were confused about the Y's in the name. And also, like, who the hell ever called me Sae Bae? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'd always say Sae Bae. I'm pretty sure there's nobody calling you Sae Bae. It's
Exactly.
a bit much.
Exactly.
But at least your name is not Prison Joe, okay? My name's aggressive. It's quite aggressive. It's very brash. And honestly, if I could go back and probably change, I probably would, because when I made the name Prison Joe, I didn't really expect to have any success on it. I mean, I wasn't sure about it, but I'm kind of stuck with it now, and now I like it. I don't know. I've definitely grown to like it, but it is a bit aggressive.
Yeah, and it's really intimidating to do a name change as well. So it like puts you in a pickle.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like, what am I gonna be? Prison Seth? Joe?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a little weird.
I'm just gonna stick with it. But I think your name change is definitely appropriate, just because, like you said, especially if there's confusion,
Yeah.
So.
And just one little thing as well. Like I have a Snapchat. I never use Snapchat, but I've been asked to like have like a little stream Snapchat. And back in like 2011 or whenever I made my Snapchat originally, I sniped the name just Sater. So it's like, if I ever did use the Snapchat for business purposes, I mean, I already got that going for me, so that'll be nice. And Elon Musk bought Twitter, which means who knows? Maybe he'll allow us to take old deactivated accounts' names at this point, because there is a literal Twitch handle called. I shouldn't even be saying this because somebody else is going to try to snipe it now. But there is a Twitch handle that's just Sater, and I think the last post is from 2012, and it's just like spam bot. I'm like, bruh, give me the fucking name. And anyway, they have a rule that they don't do it, but I think because Elon Musk now owns it, maybe shit'll change. So he owns it, right? I don't know.
Yeah, no, he does own Twitter now. I've read a lot about it.
Crazy.
He seems to be a big for the freedom of speech. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. So
yeah,
we'll see. I guess I don't know. I don't think much will change, but it is what it is. I guess.
I think I've been
$44 billion dollars. That is a lot of money.
Just
or is
imagine,
it 48 or 44 billion? I'm not sure.
Dude, imagine just like having the option to buy Twitter. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, just the fact that that's like in your head, like, oh, should I buy Twitter?
I mean, the best thing for me has just been the memes about it. It's just what is it? The man makes midlife crisis everybody's problem. I mean, I've been seeing that everywhere. Yeah, 44 billion is what it says here.
Sometimes you gotta think
a lot.
Like, okay, so how old is Elon Musk?
He's 50.
Okay, you gotta think at some point. And I think about this a lot. If I were super rich, and this is like apparently the mindset of a lot of rich people, like billionaires and stuff, is that the most valuable thing in your life is just time at that point. And so what are you going to do with your time? And I just see Elon Musk and he's like, dude, I feel like at this point, he just wants to be the most successful and most popular and just the biggest person on earth, just like, this is me, and so he has to do crazy stunts like this because why the fuck not, you only live once, so you might as well.
I feel like it comes down to their legacy. They're trying to like that's what they care about. Like, I mean, a good example is Trump. He's a multi-billionaire. Like, there wasn't too much for him to gain by running for president, but I think he did it just for his own ego / his own legacy. I think it's definitely probably a big driving factor for why he went for it.
Absolutely. People in that like area, just like being a billionaire, it's like you got to be a total narcissist. I feel like which there's just
I'd like to think there's a couple that aren't, but who knows, man. I'm sure it's tough when I guess money, your concept of reality, it just changes. It'd be hard for it not to.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Like, you would want to say I would stay the same person or like I wouldn't have anything else. It's like, dude, it's just natural. It's also the same with getting better looking. When you're all soft and you're kind of like a little bit not feeling comfortable in your own skin, then you look at those people that take their shirts off and you're like, wow, you fucking like, show off or whatever. But then as soon as you get to that position, it's like, oh shit, I'm actually just like wanting to take my shirt off because I look good and I know I look good. So like,
that is true. Speaking of that, when are we getting Sae Bae back in the gym? People, I guess some people don't know they used to be jacked. You're quite bricked up.
Well,
definitely some size on the guy. Yeah, the old pictures, the mirror pics are outstanding.
Well, thank you. So, no, that was back in the college days where like there was an incentive to work out because there's girls everywhere. Now I'm just like trapped in my room.
Now we have no bitches.
Yeah, literally. No, speaking of that, actually, you're a fitness enthusiast, and I want to talk about it because, I'm always interested in stuff.
That's the crazy thing though, is I am definitely still, but not as much as I used to be. I'm the same way. Like I used to be a lot more into it. I think now I do a lot more fitness related things. I've gotten kind of big into running here lately. One, and then also jujitsu, which
Oh shit.
is definitely good for the cardio. Um, the rolling around with old men and them trying to choke you out that'll definitely do it. So
Yeah.
but
No,
I
100.
definitely still love it though. I'm probably at the least 3 or 4 times a week doing something active, or trying to
Yeah.
And I tried the diet too, which that's the hardest part. Working out's easy. I still enjoy going to the gym most days. Some days I have to force myself, but yeah, definitely diet's the hardest part, and I think most people can relate with that.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would almost feel like for me, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just like everything is hard for right now because I swear to God, like all my motivation came from girls. That's like like literally that's just it. Now, okay, so I'm turning
Let me
20.
ask you this.
Yeah,
How many
go.
girls did working out? How can you attribute how many can you attribute it at all to any of the women you have
It's
dated in your life?
it's okay, it's this. So, I was in the best shape of my life when I was like 20, when I was like 22. I think it was like the best shape of my life. And but I already knew that like I looked pretty good, as arrogant as that sounds. Like I knew I looked good and I knew like I felt good because I was just, eating right and working out every day. And so I'd go over and like hang out with girls and stuff and it was just like whatever. I didn't even think of like the possibility of potential.
Wait. When you were
Yeah.
in good shape, is this when you had the corn rolls?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, I thought that was a sexy look. I mean, yeah, those pictures, I mean, all you needed was a tan. That was about it. I mean, you're basically
Yeah.
perfection
See
minus the
that
tan.
that is very tough for me. I am very fair skinned, and so I need to be out in the sun a lot. And playing RuneScape as your career is hard to get a mixture of both. But I try to get some sun here and there.
You haven't like tried to get back into it at all, working out? Because I'm
Oh, I
sure.
mean, like I work out now, but I don't have a gym I go to. We have weights, we have a bench, we got a pull-up bar and
Oh, the
stuff like
home
that.
gym.
Yeah, just a little home gym, and it's
I've always
pretty
wanted to
shit.
build a home gym. Like I've always thought about it. It's just so much, and like you can get like used weights and things for pretty good price if you can find it. And there's a lot of people like on like websites like eBay, or they're just like trying to get rid of it and they're selling it for a really good price. And it's probably worth more than what you're paying for. So I need to get around to doing it. But I see the home gyms, like I've seen like Foe's home gym. Like there's some really people have some really sick home gyms. I
Yeah,
definitely want one.
yeah.
It's so much more convenient.
I don't have any machines or any like crazy stuff, and plus the gym room we have is carpeted. It's like we're in a crappy apartment right now. We're trying to. I live with my older brother right now, and he's getting a home out here, so we're gonna be moving into his new home in like a couple months, and
Oh, that's
there
exciting.
we might actually have like a nice home gym.
Is it pretty common knowledge where you live at? Do you like, as far as the state goes? I'm not trying
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
out your
state
address.
Alabama. Yeah,
Okay, all
I'll
right,
leave
yes,
that.
yeah. Because I think a lot of people don't know that you are a Southern man.
Now I am, but I don't. I haven't picked up anything Southern at all because I just don't go out. Like I noticed my older brother started saying y'all and some weird other things that Southern, like because I'm originally from Oregon, and we
Oh,
just have
I
like
know, yeah.
a
You can
normal
tell.
accent, kind of. Is there even an accent related to like living on the West Coast, like at all?
I mean, yeah, but I don't really think I can describe it. But like, if I hear you talk, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, he's from Louisiana, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's not you don't really have any of the Southern. There's a lot of like, even just like I live in Tennessee,
Hmm.
and the Middle Tennessee accent, like Eastern Tennessee accent, is like I can barely understand it. Some of those people, like it's fucking crazy. Like there's some real like mountain people who live up that way, and like it is very hard to understand some of them when they're talking. They talk very fast, and it's extremely, as some would say, Keikono. So it's
Okay, wait.
definitely different.
Okay, I know. Okay, so is Tennessee considered the South? It still is, right? Right? Kind
What
of.
do you mean? Seriously?
It's got.
Yes.
Okay, but it's not even South. That's the thing. So I think of North Carolina.
Oh,
People even say North Carolina's the South, and I'm like, it's literally North in the name. Like, what the?
I give you more on North Carolina, and there's definitely a I can see on that, but yeah, Tennessee's definitely
Yeah, like I
very.
relate it to South. I also see like like Kentucky and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I
then
talked about this with speaking of T Papa the other day. He was telling me that he was having this discussion with me about how the South is not the South.
I mean, yeah, it's like the South is not based on the
Yeah, it's
directions.
not.
It's
Yeah,
just like the culture,
yes,
I
it's
guess. I don't know.
yeah, no, yeah. I don't think it's the. It's more the culture. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's the geography. So I think. Let me see here. Yeah, he was talking about how Arizona is the South. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
that is just not the South. California is the South. No.
Oh yeah, that place is that's an interesting place. That's all I'll say about that.
All I'll say is, like, I've visited California, and every time I'm there, it's the weather is just immaculate, and I'm like, this would be amazing to live. Apparently, people get depressed because of it being too sunny too often. Is that a fucking thing? I thought, like, what? Isn't that like the complete opposite effect it should have? Like, people want seasons apparently, but like they only get sun, so they end up getting depressed. But it's like, what?
It's the weather down here is well, in Tennessee it's very bipolar, especially around this time of year. We get a lot of it's very cold, then it's very hot, then it's very cold, and then it's raining for like a week straight. So it's a lot different. I would say, what is it? Is it more just hot there all the time, or
Well, in Alabama, it's probably pretty similar, but to like
I'm not
where you
sure how
live.
far into it depends on where you live.
Yeah, I don't want to start going in like too much detail. Some sociopath is gonna go through every fucking Sae Bae cast one of these days when I get a little bit bigger, and he's gonna start picking out little clips and like doxing and just piecing the puzzle together, you know. So I gotta
Yeah,
watch
I
myself
would.
a little bit.
I mean, when I first started streaming, I definitely was a bit more crazy. Like I would, like internet trolls, I would give them my address and tell them to pull up.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Jeez.
I wasn't too worried about it. I told them, I said, come on. Come on over. We can handle
Dude,
it.
okay, let me just say, like, I know you've probably learned since then, but it goes way beyond just affecting you. Like, it could start affecting people you know and, like, family and stuff.
Yeah,
I've heard crazy
that's what I
stories.
learned. Yeah, that's why I've definitely strayed away from that for sure. Because it is not hard to get the family involved, which I know that I would say 9% of those people who like that's their agenda, like they're not going to fucking do anything, but they will at least try to scare, and
Oh, yeah.
that's the last thing I want is family members being like, this guy said he's going to come kill me.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I try and keep it. I definitely am not doing that anymore, but yes, there was a time, definitely more ignorant, more naive prison Joe, where I would, I mean, in those days, I didn't really think streaming would ever like turn into anything. So I was a lot more loose with what I said for sure. I still am now, but then even more so.
Yeah. No, I mean, that just reminds me of when Facebook and Twitter just came to be when I was a kid. I mean, I would literally display everything about myself. I would put my telephone number on there. It'd have like my email address. It's like public information, and it just didn't bother me because it was just like, whatever. I have nothing to hide. I don't fucking care. But then I realized starting streaming, I'm like, hey, let me just like deactivate my Facebook because I do not want some weirdos looking back at posts when I was like 13 and just some weird ass shit.
I've deleted all my older posts on Facebook, and I really don't even use it anymore. I don't think I've used the app in I think almost 2 years now. And even when I did use it, I would literally just and honestly, as bad as it sounds, I would literally scroll through and just look at the people I went to high school with, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that was pretty much me.
It's literally like everybody has kids. They're married. They're getting married at like 22 years old, 23 years old, and like now, a few years later, like they're all getting divorced. That's just, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. No, that really is what Facebook turned into. And the other problem, so I deactivated my Facebook like 3.5 years ago. And yeah, even up until then, I would just go on Facebook. I'm like, why the fuck am I on this app? I would see like 2 wedding posts and then just a bunch of spam, a bunch of ads, a bunch of memes from old people. I'm like, dude, why am I looking? I'm just like melting my brain.
And there's the people who are posting on there who are like sharing their thoughts and opinion are just, it's a tough go. If you read it, it's not good.
Yeah, Facebook was just not in my mind, it was not in a good place. I'm like, I need to leave this. Same with, honestly, Instagram's better, but even Instagram, because it's owned by Facebook, I'm starting to see the like influx of ads. I'm like, and the other thing is like I just follow a lot of college kids and high school people. Like that's all I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't even really care anymore. So.
I've divulged into just the RuneScape Twitter. That's about, I scroll the Twitter every day, and it's purely just because I enjoy it, and there's a lot of funny stuff, good memes on there.
Yeah,
and of course people complaining, which is about 98% of RuneScape is complaining. So I see it a lot. It's everywhere. It's pretty much, it's a combination of that. It's people suggesting ideas, people arguing, and then the memes. So I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
And speaking of RuneScape, how long we've been talking now?
20 minutes.
We talked 20 minutes without really talking about RuneScape. Is that a first for the cast?
I don't know. I love this though. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've already thoroughly enjoyed this cast because I'm not even imagining we're recording this right now. Oh shit! I forgot to record. No, I'm kidding. No, we're.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
We have to repeat the same thing.
Segment there. But for people who don't know me, my name is Prison Joe, and as far as RuneScape goes, I like to think I represent more of the casual player. I definitely don't put as much time into the game as a lot of creators do.
Okay, whoa. Let me take a pause here. When he says casual, I mean, this man's rocking an infernal cape, thousands of ToBs,
Not thousands of ToBs.
What are you
thousands of Zohar cases. I have I'm literally 300 something cases.
It feels like you've been at ToB for like 20 years. How are you not thousands? Shit, I swear to God.
It's because I only do ToB when I stream it primarily. I don't really do it off of the stream.
Okay.
All those ToBs have been done on stream, so that's probably why it feels like I have way more. Because a lot of people always say, they're like, wow, how do you only have that much KC? I was like, because I only do it when I stream typically. I don't really play too much off stream. I would say this past year has been the most I've played off stream because one of my goals is to max my shitter main account. I've been slowly working on it, and I'm actually starting to get close. I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 skills left, so I'm getting there, and they're all above 80, and some of them above 90. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping, I don't know, by by July or August, I can get it done. But I would say, of the content that I do, definitely ToB and the skilling streams, because I've been doing a series of 24-hour just skilling streams, kind of just push myself to do it, because originally I just hated the thought of skilling, but as I've gotten into it, I've started to enjoy it. I see how some people enjoy it. I also see how some people can get competitive about it and do it where they allot a certain amount of time to get as much XP as possible. I see the value in it, at least now after doing it for a while. And some of it's enjoy, especially the more AFK stuff. Like I kind of like it. It's nice. The number going up, I see it. I feel it. I'm with it.
What about post? I know you have some 99s already. What do you think about post 99 XP? Does it feel quite the same?
I think if I am hunting a pet, because back to being Prison Joe, that like I said, I feel like I represent more the casual player. I know, like you said, I've kind of gone past that, but yes, that is, that's my primary content, is I like to hunt pets. I fancy myself a medium tier pet hunter. I have 13 pets, I believe. But I think it's definitely, it feels really good if you don't have the pet and you're still doing it. Like I could definitely sit at the redwood tree and whack that bad boy for another, whatever, how many hours till I get
Whack
the
the
beaver.
tree, by the way, for those listening.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I feel like if I have like a goal to work towards besides the XP, then yeah. But I don't know. Just doing the XP alone, it'd be tough. Like I don't know. Are you doing any? Do you have any plans for 200 mil all?
So when I think, okay, first of all, I play this game because I love almost all aspects of a game. I even say I like PvP and I like that it's part of the game. Now, Predator versus Prey is the only thing that I'm like pretty much against. I think that's the only part of the game I just don't enjoy or think is good for the game. But yeah, everything else, I don't ever actively.
Wait, are you saying you don't like PvP?
I love PvP. I love a player consenting to fight another player. That is fucking awesome. Bounty Hunter, that shit was awesome. That was bussin', as they say. And things like that where like there's two PKers that are going at it, and then whoever wins gets their shit, high risk, high reward. But then like you start mixing in the like, let's incentivize people that just don't want to go out in the wilderness. Let's try to find an incentive for them to come out in the wilderness so that the PKers can kill them, and that's a PK update. Like, Jesus Christ, like really? Now that was fine maybe years ago, and what's horrible is that these, again, I'm generalizing, and I know that, so I want to disclaimer, I am generalizing and this, but you think of PKers and like the only thing they ever fucking bring up, again, generalization, exaggerations, I'm just trying to prove a point here, is they'll go back and like, back in 2003, Green Dragons were the best money. I'm like, gee, dude, bro, it's been 19 years since then. Like, things change. We're older. We're not 5 years old anymore, And it's like,
does the audience know you spend so much time on Reddit?
Thing is, I don't really spend that much time on Reddit, but I first of all, when you're like on the fence about deleting a social media thing, but it's like there's some things that are kind of keeping you there. But
that's how I feel about Facebook. I just seeing Tammy have her 9th child is, I don't know, that's redeeming to me.
Yeah.
But continue.
Nah, like Reddit is like, I like being somewhat up to date with the 2007 Scape Reddit because it's part of my job, sort of, I guess. To somewhat.
Yeah, that is true. You have a lot of ideas. You think big for sure. So I think that I think it is kind of essential for you to be involved and aware about what people are talking about on there, because I know that especially from the higher level community, the general consensus of the Reddit is it's not very positive. So but I would say that there's some good on there as well. I would say, I'm sure you've seen at least something that you can say was a good Reddit post on there, at least a few. I'm sure you could, hopefully. I hope so. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but
no. Like, I'm not the stereotypical. Well, maybe people see that as me, but I feel like I'm not the stereotypical Twitter user that's like, oh, Reddit's dog shit and Twitter's amazing. Everyone on Twitter has a great opinion. Like, dude, it's the same on both fucking sides. But Reddit is just filled with more casuals that just don't see long-term health of the game, which is fine but you need a balance of it because, I mean.
Yeah. That's why I feel for Jagex, man. You have so many different communities of people who are at different progressions in their accounts. And like, there's so many people they're trying to please. And I just don't think they're ever going to please everyone. It's just not going to happen. There's too many different communities going against each other, essentially, for them to really, and then they also have the aspect of business where they're running a business as well, which might not align with a certain community's goals or what they want. So it's tough. It is. I feel for them. I think people, and honestly, every update people just badger the fuck out of them and beat their shit into the ground every time they fuck up. And I feel for them. I really do, because there's so much that they probably have to think, like, they have so much to think about with every update, and just there's so many people they're trying to please.
Now, the fact that the game is in a really good spot, well, besides them breaking the fucking inventory of the game, and it's lasted for over a week now, dude. That, by the way,
I can't defend on that one. I can't defend that. I'm not gonna try and defend.
Besides that, I mean, just update wise, quality wise, like, dude, we've gotten amazing updates that cater somehow they've nailed it where it caters to almost everybody in the game. I mean, think of Guardians of the Rift. Like,
Yeah, I think that was a great update. I enjoyed it a lot. That was a good update.
Everyone's doing it. Everyone enjoys it. And that's kind of what you need to do. You need to sort of appeal to the casuals. You know, I have my own thoughts on like what XP rate should be fair and stuff. But sometimes, you know, maybe just don't listen to me. Don't listen to the high level community, because we end up being, and I'm putting myself in the high level community. When I think of high level community, I just think of people that play every day. Like, just
I would definitely say that most people could agree that you are a member of the high-level community.
Thing is high-level community used to be seen as skillers. Like, it was people that are going for 200 mil all. Those are the HLC. So now it's like, what do we call the high-level community? Just people that have played over 500 days on their account, like something absurd? Or is it just, yeah, I don't know. So,
yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I think it's a time played kind of thing. It's the people who have gone above and beyond with the hours they put into the game, I think would be the best way to describe the quote-unquote high-level community.
I'd also think like maybe being maxed includes you in it. Maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, that's like, I remember like long ago, it's not really long ago, but when I kind of, you know, you've been in my stream and I've joked about the idea of being on the Sae Bae cast, and I told you I said, just wait. Because you've had a lot of like mega gamers on here, and, you know, like even coming on today, I don't feel like I should be on here.
You can. Listen, let me just say this as well. I only get one guest on the cast a week. It's so fucking hard for me to just get everybody on. Like, there are still so many people that I've talked to from like 6 months ago. I said, hey, I want to get you on the cast, but it won't be for a while. And now it's been like 6 months later. I'm like, Jesus, they probably think I hate them or I ghosted them. It's like, I'm like scrambling around. I'm like, who do I, and the other thing is, part of it is selfishness. Like, who do I want to talk to this week? Who do I want to get on, or like, who do I think would be a good fit? Generally, I'm trying to go down the list and just get people on, but like, I also kind of organize it myself. So guests sometimes take a little bit longer, but
I would say you got kind of like a tier list. There's definitely, you know.
Oh yeah.
If you have the opportunity to get, I'd say it's the same week. Let's say you have me, and then but that week and only that week only, Bodie can come on the podcast.
I'm still getting you on. No. I'm no, fuck Bodie. We're not getting. No. Don't fuck. By the way, but he's not listening. It's fine.
Number 73. Hey,
I love Bodie to death. 73? That was all jokes and fun. Episode 73. We're getting Bodie on the cast.
That's confirmed?
I can't.
I'm on the cast,
okay, so
confirm it?
Here's the thing. I could confirm it, but if something happens wrong, because, okay, let me just state that I have been in talks with Bodie over Discord, and he's down for it. The thing is, you know, he has this skin condition, and he just wants to make sure, like, everything's good, so he's keeping me up to date with, you know, how it can... Whenever the date is, there's no like date set in stone is what I'm trying to say. So
that is tough. I would not wish what he went through on my worst enemy. That is I've just read his post about it. Fuck.
Dude, it is like scary. It's like tearing your life apart, you know? Yeah.
It's awful. I'm glad he's healing. Look forward to the return of the king, really, honestly.
Yeah. So. I remember when he had the skin thing and he hadn't quit streaming yet, and I just saw him on stream, and, you know, people in the chat were just kind of like asking him uncomfortable questions like, oh, have you gained weight and stuff like that? Like things like, like clearly he's on medication and stuff like that, which is causing that. And I just felt so bad for him because it's like,
it's like he can be active either. I mean, the man is down. You're fucking just
the man
him when he's
exactly
down.
I was just like, dude, I was really happy that he decided to just take a break and just try to heal instead of trying to push through it. I'm like, that shit looks so awful. I see those posts, dude. The first time I saw the post where his skin just looked horrible, I'm not gonna lie, I was tearing up. I was like, and the fact where he was saying he was like contemplating suicide. Like,
yeah, that's reading that. Like, and I know how like someone like him, how probably strong-willed and how strong his mind is. So for someone to say something like that is, that says a lot.
yeah, that's like dark. And I was like, holy fuck, like this is serious. This is no like joke. That's just a aesthetic thing. Like this is taking over his
I couldn't
life.
imagine, because I mean, I consider myself a pretty disciplined guy. Like we just talked about earlier, I work 50 to 80 hours a week probably, and then try and stream, and it does take, some discipline to pull that off. So I remember I recently had an accident at work where I hurt my back really bad, and it put me in bed for I think almost 3 days to where I couldn't walk.
Jesus.
And then after that, for the next week or two, it was just a pain thing. But I pushed through it because I'm an idiot, and I just kept going. But I just remember laying in bed those 3 days, like because I'm just so used to go all the time, just one thing after the next, and just laying there. I was just so miserable, and then seeing his post like that, because he's been like, that's weeks and weeks, months of time where he's just. I'm sure he's sitting there, and I'm sure he's in this, he's a really motivated, disciplined guy.
Yep.
So I can only imagine, like, with that extended amount of time what he was going through.
Oh, and to think that for a phase of it, it was getting worse,
Yeah.
So you don't even see improvements. It's just worse. You're uncomfortable. You're in pain. Every part of your body just feels like shit, and you're just lying.
Yeah, I'm the
in bed.
biggest, the thing I'm probably the biggest pussy about is my skin. So, that would be the worst thing for me, because, I hate getting sunburned, because I break out in the hives and I itch and shit. I could, that's the only, skin thing I can compare to that. I'm not going to act like I was going through what he was, but, I'm really glad that he is, especially after reading that, I'm glad that he is back on a upward trajectory and healing. So
yeah, the only thing I can even imagine when it comes to skin conditions and stuff is like when I was a kid, I was in middle school and I had scabies. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, scabies is quite prominent down here in the South,
bro. I had scabies, and it generally goes into like the kind of like this sounds weird, but like the crevices of your hands and feet, like just where it's kind of a little bit more sweaty, I guess, or just I don't even know. Exactly. That's probably not the scientific thing, but it gets on your hands and wrists and stuff. And then that's
where they like to go. That's where they like to burrow at. The crevices of your body, which is disgusting.
I was trying to sleep, and I'm not kidding. For like 4 days straight, I was getting like 5-minute increments of sleep, and I was miserable. Like I didn't even know what depression was back then, because I was like 13. But like I was seriously like in so much discomfort, and it wasn't even painful. It's just itchiness. I am constantly scratching myself everywhere, and I can't sleep because it's incredibly itchy. And so, yeah, the lack of sleep and just eating shitty and just not drinking enough water, dude, I felt miserable. And that was only for like 4 days. So.
Yeah, I remember in high school, there are some people who had it, and there are people who pass it around actually sexually, because it's a contact thing. Mm-hmm. So it was getting passed around when I was in I never got it, but I had a few friends who dealt with it, and yeah, that was kind of the gist of what they said. I've just dealt with the standard ticks and the seed ticks, which also do the same thing. They get in between the webs of your hands and your feet, and it's just you're just miserable for a couple days.
Yeah. Have you ever had a plantar wart? I know it's random.
I have no idea what that is, balls.
Those are the warts that are on your feet that last years. No. So I had a plantar wart back when I think I was maybe 18 or something, and I saw this tiny little plantar wart on the ball of my foot, or what's the thing like right below your big toe? That's the ball, right? I can't. It's not the heel. Whatever. I had a little teeny wart there, and it wasn't really affecting me. And then all of a sudden, like 2 years later, I was probably like 20 or 21. I started getting a little bit of discomfort, and that same fucking wart was there from 2 years ago that I saw, just microscopic at the time. And then it had gotten a little bit bigger. It's like a little. It was painful to step on certain areas.
Let me stop you a second. Have you ever talked about warts on the Sae Bae?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've talked about a plantar wart one other episode. But I'm trying to remember. It's just too many.
I thought I had a genital wart in college, but it wasn't ingrown hair, thankfully. So
Yeah, no, this plantar wart was just awful because you're walking on it, and it would just get worse and worse. Just a little bit bigger. And
is that a pain thing, or does it itch? Or
yeah,
like,
no, it was
that?
just pain. Like it was like just imagine just stepping on a wart like over and over. But it's like in your foot, you know, it's not on the outside, it's like in. So
it's inside.
Yeah, and it is impossible to fucking remove. It is impossible. Like without freezing it to death. Like you have to literally freeze the fucker until it like basically it ceases to exist. Like it's just dead. And so what you'd have to do is like peel the skin and then just freeze the thing, and you're just in like incredible pain. Like, you know, your nerves are just freaking out. But
you really got to be thankful for health, man. You honestly,
it's
so easy to go through life and just be like, and just take it for granted. Because as soon as you go through something, you're like, fuck. You keep thinking about how you felt when you were just okay, and like you got to be thankful for health.
Yeah, no, just the wart thing lasted for probably 6 years. I think I was like 20. I think I was 24 when I was still streaming at the time. Like I was streaming at the time when all of a sudden I looked down at my foot and it was gone. It was just gone. It just
miraculous remission.
And then I looked it up. Oh, I had looked it up plenty of times before then, but I was always like, oh, I'm one of those rare cases where this lasts for years and years and years. And then they would just say, just let it run its course for 6 fucking years. I'm like, let it run its course for 6 years? Okay. Anyway, yeah, they were right.
MD right there.
It just went away. It was just gone. And now my feet are clean. And I'm like, dude, this is the most amazing thing ever. I don't have to deal with this tiny little pain that I would experience for years. So.
Have not had any. The only weird medical thing that I've had is I suffered from something called hyperhidrosis, which is profuse sweating. Okay. And mine primarily affected my hands growing up. And I think this is like 2 years ago, I finally got it's a simple surgery where they go in through your chest cavity and they basically burn off a nerve that causes it. And it wasn't too bad. It was like the recovery was like a week, and it was just hard to breathe because they deflate one of your lungs to get to the nerve, and that was it though. But yeah, now my hands, they cannot sweat. They won't. Like whatever I do, they will not sweat. They stay dry. No, they stay dry at all times.
Is that good? But, like I've just wondered. Like,
well, you get it compensates in other places. Now, like I sweat on my lower back or my like stomach, like most people do, you know. So yeah, it's completely. My hands do not sweat, but I dealt with that for pretty much my entire life leading up to the last couple of years, and it's definitely been. I've been very happy.
That's cool.
Because it was like bad, and like it doesn't sound that bad. But when it comes to interactions, shaking hands, touching people, like it like writing, I like the paper's like curling up. I'm trying to write on paper. It's like, you know, gaming. Like I hand you the controller. That bitch is wet, baby.
Yeah, my I think my little brother. There must be like a spectrum of that where it's like really severe or not.
Oh yes, there is. Because I didn't even know it was a thing until a couple of years ago. I saw an awareness post for it, and it was this guy who like he has to wear shorts and like athletic wear every day because he's just like it's his entire body is like insane. Jeez. Like he just like he worked at a pizza place and he was like talking about it, and like I was like, holy, there's definitely a spectrum. Some people have it way worse, and some people have it just kind of not that bad.
Yeah, my little brother has really sweaty hands. It's probably not as bad because sometimes they can be dry, but like, yeah, if he's ever nervous, like all his sweat's going to his hands, it feels like.
It was crazy. Like that was like, it was kind of the only positive thing was the joke of like, I could rub my hands together and they would just start producing like immense amounts of sweat. It was like a superpower.
You're like trapped in the desert, like need water, rub your fucking hands, just get water.
That's what I do. People are like, I'd be like, watch, and I do it. And they're like, whoa, like people were like amazed by it. It's like literally like they would like, I could get to the where they would drip sweat off my hands. Like that's how bad it was.
Jesus.
But it was, I hated it so much. Like before, like I remember just like shaking hands was the worst. Like that was like, I remember I would always like, wave my hand in the air, like to get it dry when they're not looking. Then
or you have to do like the pant rub thing where you just rub your pants like really hard, like really quickly.
Yeah. But,
I'm sorry.
I'm very thankful that is done with.
See, isn't that kind of cool though, that you can just see people as everyone has their own problems, you know? Even if they're not seen, you know, like I would have never thought you had that problem, but like that is like an internal issue. Luckily, with modern day science and medicine, like you were able to.
Yeah, dude, imagine I would have got that surgery years ago if I just didn't even know it was a. I didn't know there was a surgery or it was even a condition. I had no clue. I thought I was just fucked.
That's crazy.
I did have no clue. But yeah, health. Yeah, I think most people like. Health is just, it's so easy to take for granted because as soon as you get something going like wrong with you, you really are like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have took my health for granted so much. It's literally every time I get sick or something, I think that.
Yeah. So. And it's weird getting older too, because you start realizing your body is like not immortal.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's impossible to tell a kid that. Or a teenager, like, hey man,
I never thought about it, but now I get up in the middle of the night, I'm taking a piss, and all I can think about is death. Seriously, I have these existence pisses in the middle of the night where I'm sitting there taking a piss, and I'm like, holy shit, it's gonna end one day.
Dude, it really is a strange thought because I don't think I ever had existential thoughts before the age of like 21.
Really? No, there's no way, never at all. Now it's like all the time. I would get and I'm like, God, why am I thinking about that? I like trying to shake myself out of it. I sit there thinking about, just existence and how we're not invulnerable and how it's gonna end, regardless of what you do. It's gonna be over.
And what's really weird is to think that none of us even chose to be like born, So we're all just nobody like you didn't choose to be like with your genetics and be born at this time to that family to that environment. Like everyone just rolls the RNG lottery and you're just
it's true. That
born
is
somewhere.
very true.
And that's just I don't know. I just see that and I'm like
I would say that you and myself are very, very blessed to be able to do the thing. It's I would say, especially through what I do for work, I've seen the lows that some people have to deal with and go through, and we got it pretty good. I will say that. I know there's some topics on the Twitter about my job, and I will say that the biggest thing that's brought me is perspective on life and the different levels and the different lives people lead and how low it really can get. So I try and remember that. You gotta try your best to stay humble and remember those things. But I know sometimes it can be hard.
It gets I think just over time it's gotten a lot easier for me. I think maybe getting high has helped. no, but no, I real talk. Like I've had some very, very deep thoughts, and I feel like over the past year, I've just gained a lot of empathy, which sounds almost arrogant to even say, like, oh, I have a lot of empathy. But it's like, I see people in a different light now. I'm like, dude, you are just you. You did not decide to have the problems you have or the life that you're living. Like, you're just you. And like, you just got to understand, like, everybody's going to die relatively short. I mean, nobody really lives to be beyond 120. So just to think, I would even just say like 100, like, the cap's 100. We're all just man children here on this floating ball in space, and we only live for like 100 years. Like none of us ever live long enough to really start understanding. I agree,
and that's why I think it's very important to, at least for me, in my opinion, is to find purpose early. Find purpose. Find something that brings you happiness. That brings other people happiness. That like we talked about earlier, like working towards some type of legacy, because after you're gone, all there is what? Memories. So, at least leave some type of positive impact of some sort. So that wasn't for, purpose of feeding ego, I guess you could say, so just something. But
yeah, now it's weird to think, I don't know. We could get into what you know what? Let's you mentioned
you want to talk about RuneScape?
You mentioned your work, and I want to talk about you working at Kroger you know. So
Yeah, so well, the name prison, Joe. A lot of people, if I know that's one of the topics is, have you been to prison? Well, the answer is yes, but I have not been incarcerated at any point in my life in prison or jail. I have worked in prisons or jails upwards of over 3 years. I did specialized corrections work. This is pretty common knowledge. I talk about it. I did that for probably a little over 3 years in jails and prisons. And yeah, that job, definitely a humbling job. Brought me a lot of perspective. Definitely heard a lot of stories, learned a lot through people I worked with, and talking to people who are actually incarcerated. It was quite a crazy experience, I'll say. Definitely, I would say the maturity arc in my life. Even though I'm a grown child, I'm not going to act like I'm not. But as far as when it's time to get serious, kind of maturity. Definitely was acquired during that time, 100%. Definitely dealt with a lot of things, a lot of stressful situations. But I'm very thankful for it, and I enjoyed it a lot. And but now, yes, we work at Kroger now. We do not work for the government anymore. We do. But Kroger takes up a lot of time. It's probably, like I said, 50 to 80 hours a week is typically my work week. Anywhere, it just depends on what I'm doing. And
overtime
if I
Kroger every fucking day.
Overtime Kroger does provide. So, and I was talking to you earlier about how working full time, like my perspective and like my view of streaming is different than people who do it full time. I don't feel the financial stress, so I don't really do too much revenue incentive type things like other full-time careers do, which I get why you do that, and I support it, and I try and take I've tried to take all the revenue I've made through streaming and I've put it back into the stream. I don't really have too much else I can do as far as equipment goes, but I mean, I started streaming on it's just an old gaming laptop. My friend gave me his blue Yeti mic that he didn't use anymore. He said, use it until you make it or don't. And then what else did I have? I just had a Logitech camera, which I recently sold to a viewer. That's the only thing I bought for the setup was the webcam. And yeah, I ran it on that. And through streaming, I bought my computer, mixer, the microphone, keyboard, all that. I tried to, put it back in. And now I try and take the money and put it aside for, I'm sure as you've seen these the streamer trips we've been taking, the streamer meetups.
Yeah.
Put it aside for that, and also giving back to other streamers. I like to give subs. I do. I'm all about gifting subs, bits, all that, supporting other streamers. I try my best to support the homies.
Absolutely.
Especially the ones that I know do it full time. And especially the ones that I know that are doing it full time, and because there's some people I know more on a personal level, and I know the struggles they're going through. So I want to try and help if I can.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't. I'm not making enough to where I can give them a life-changing amount of money, but I at least try and be supportive.
Yeah. Now that's, I mean, real talk. When I think the first time I met you, when we started to kind of like see each other's streams and stuff like that, I think it was honestly through Fat Clouds. I think our friendship with Fat Clouds kind of led us.
If you know me, you know I love Fatty C. Shout out to the Fuck and the Fat Fam, top the fucking one. I love Fat Clouds. He's a great guy.
He
and
is.
Of all the streamers on Twitch, he's definitely been the number one I've supported the most. I love Ian. He's a great guy. And yes, I watched your stream, but I didn't start interacting with you until I knew that. I guess I kind of knew that you and him were really good friends. I didn't even really know him prior, but I started watching you, and now it's tough nowadays, man. There's so many people I'm friends with on Twitch. I feel blessed to be able to come in and watch for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm sure you're the same way. I'm sure there's so many people.
It's tough. Seriously, it stresses me out unnecessarily. I follow.
You think that we hate you?
No. Okay. First of all, that's a meme. That's a meme. I wanted to say this right now because I guess you're on the cast. So one of my pet peeves, one of the things I absolutely hate, and it kills me inside, is to support a streamer by subbing to them and then having to stop that subscription due to like financial reasons or something. Because it's like a weird dynamic, and it's all in my head. I feel like, at least that's what I've been told.
It definitely is. I feel like, especially other streamers, you think would relate the most with that. So I don't think that's definitely on your head, man. I really is, because there's no streamer who's gonna be like, oh, Sae Bae's gonna cancel a sub to me. Like,
no, it's just it's always put me in an uncomfortable position where it's like, especially if the other person's supporting me. So, for example, you've supported me since day fucking one greatly as well. And then when my dumbass is like, oh, I need to stop like 10 of my ongoing subscriptions, one of them's going to be Prison Joe. It's like, fuck, now I'm just like in this awkward thing where it's like unspoken, where you're like sub to me but I'm not sub to you, and it's like, this is,
I would never think that. And I've told people, anybody who does full-time content creation, I'm always like of the opinion, like, do what you have to do, because I know that, like, especially in our section, it's hard. It's like, it's not like other sections. We don't have the same viewership that, like, for example, the biggest section, which I believe is just chatting. Like, there's like, the ceiling is lower, right? So I know that, like, long term, the amount of revenue that is going to be produced by streamers is in a lot of cases barely livable. To be like honest, especially in certain places, like people who are streaming in like places where the cost of living, like, I mean, you should move to Tennessee. Cost of living here is pretty low.
Alabama's very low too.
Like, oh yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're good. Actually, that's actually a really good place to live. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's amazing for a streamer. Like, really.
Yeah, it's great for a streamer there. But if you're living in like San Diego, I mean, good luck. Good luck. It's a tough go. So yeah, I understand completely. I would never. I don't assume anything.
Yeah,
like
and again, I've kind of started to realize a lot of this is in my head. The other thing that I really struggle with is, back when I first started Twitch, I only was following a certain amount of people, and I could actually just chill in streams for hours. I'm following hundreds of creators now, and it's like, dude, I want to watch you. Like, I want to watch, but it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I watched was you. I literally I only watched you.
Yeah.
Fat Clouds, Neil when he did stream. Shout out to Neil, I love him. And Creel, I watched Creel as well.
Yep.
You guys were the only people I was really watching, so like I could sit in there for an hour, 2 hours, and watch. And now there's so many people, and yeah, I prioritize it. I prioritize now, and I try not to, but really it comes down to I'm really prioritizing who I enjoy the most.
Exactly, and that's just the facts of life. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it is what it is, but I try, and a lot of people, and I feel the same with the subscriptions. Like, I try to stay subscribed to especially the people who, like, I've known since day one, who I feel a sense of loyalty to.
Yeah.
And then other people, I'll unsubscribe. I will subscribe to them, and I'll literally immediately unsubscribe, and then I might not watch the stream again for another 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
So as soon as I go back and I get time to watch their stream, I will resubscribe once I go in there.
Yeah.
Which I think I know a lot of people do it that way. They will subscribe to you and then immediately unsubscribe. And then next time they catch your stream or next time they see you, they'll typically resubscribe again. I know people who've spoke on that who do that. I do the same thing. So
yeah, the worst thing is like saying something really. This is what I've dealt with, is like, I really like a creator. I really like what they're doing. Their streams are awesome. And I talk all this shit, or I talk all this good stuff, not shit. I say all these nice things, and then I pop into their stream like once a month for like 5 minutes because there's just so many people. And on top of that, I do other things. But believe it or not, guys, I sometimes get off of the internet and I actually do real stuff. I know it's hard to believe, but I just feel so bad at that, because then it's almost like that person probably thinks, oh, they were just saying nice things before. I'm not actually that good because they're not even watching me. So clearly I'm not that
person
good.
Should know how much you have going on. You do a lot. You play the game a lot. Like you said, sometimes you go and do other things. And I think that's reflective of any content creator who's putting a lot of time in. Like, for example, you think MMORPG is just hanging out in everybody's streams? No. Dude's probably very busy. probably got a lot going on. So, that's just an example of somebody who's really popular. But I would say any streamer who has, a high level of popularity and has a lot going on, like I would never expect them to, it's really nice. Like I enjoy it when I see you or other streamers come to my stream, and I know you're only going to hang out for 10 or 15 minutes. I know that because I do the same thing.
Yep.
And I feel like most streamers should relate to that. At least the ones that are putting a lot of time into it. Because even though, like I said, I work 58 hours a week, I try and put a lot of time into interacting with people, whether it be Discord, Twitter, whatever it is. And, and especially with the base stream team as well. I love all of them. It's been one of the best things that I've gotten into recently. And I primarily say that not for the networking aspect of it, but primarily the feedback aspect of it has been amazing.
What do you mean?
Because we have so many different streamers, and when somebody has a concern about even just Twitch users like chatters, or they have something concerned about their audio, or they want to know about editing, whatever it may be, we have such a wide variety of experience and people with different skill sets that there's always really good feedback. Like everybody in there has improved their stream based off feedback of others. And that's probably been the best thing about it. The interaction between all the streamers has definitely been the feedback, for sure, at least for me.
Yeah, that sounds like it sounds nice, and it sounds really resourceful as well. I know T Papa was also talking after we had ended the Sae Bae cast. We were talking about based and just stream teams in general. I've always had this problem. I think it stems from doing sales, like doing door-to-door sales, joining teams without knowing everything that's going on. And like it's such an innocent thing to join a stream team. It's not like you're signing any contract, but because of like just bad experiences in my life of joining things abruptly and just being like, oh yeah, I'll do this, and then all of a sudden you're like tied down with a bunch of obligations. It's like, okay, I didn't actually want this.
And that's the negative thing is like I don't want it to be seen as like a clique or anything, which I'm sure people think that it is what it is.
No,
but it's more of it was just a group of friends coming together to, like I said, that's been the most important thing, or like the biggest theme to me has been the feedback, and especially with the different Twitch users, which I'm sure there are some interesting creatures out there who watch the Runescape section of Twitch. So it's been helpful. It's also provided perspective of what other people are dealing with, especially our female members. I mean, there's some wild fucking shit that some of the female streamers in our team like deal with on a daily basis, and it definitely I'm not trying to like it's definitely brought some perspective, that's for sure. Because there's some freaks out there.
Yeah. No, no, like real talk. When I pop into a female streamer stream, like, dude, some of the stuff I see there, I'm like, bro, like if I had to stream, if I was the girl in this situation, I'm getting these just fucking weird comments consistently.
Yeah,
this is not a great environment. Yeah, I feel for them, and
I will say I'm a proud moderator of the Dollblush live stream.
That's big.
And I will tell you that I have seen some very questionable things in that live stream in the late night hours, especially if she is in the just chatting section. It gets pretty wild. So it's a different ball game for sure.
All right, we got a Twitter topic from Hamzy. He asks about how much does a box of 300 White Castle burgers cost? And before you answer, he also asks, do you understand that you're me hero?
I love Hamilton. Large shout out to him. He deserves much more respect as a streamer and much more viewership, first off. Second off, the 300 White Castle burgers is in reference to a story from when we had the quote-unquote taste giving in Arizona, streamer meetup. I was quite intoxicated one night, and it was not 300, but I did Uber Eats 150 White Castle burgers.
Jesus, fuck.
to the Airbnb, and the best part is that I let them sit out there for about an hour and a half.
Oh God!
They were delivered.
So let me paint a picture for those that don't know what White Castle is. I only discovered what White Castle is from moving to Alabama. They are sliders. They're like little slider burgers, so they're tinier. So it's not 150 like quarter pounders. Like we're talking like just tiny little things.
Yeah, it was. And then for whatever reason, I put jalapenos on them as well.
Hell yeah. No, that's a great decision, I think.
No, I'm good with that. I like the spice, but some people did not like that. But pretty much, yeah, we munched on them for a while. But they were honestly like, if you weren't intoxicated, they probably tasted disgusting. I mean, it was just like it was like a soggy, just wet. It just was not good, man.
Yeah, that sounds fucking gross. Now, I like to this day, I've never had White Castle or any of those places like Crystal.
Really, Crystal? I like Crystal more. I think Crystal's more of a Southern thing, but
I've never been to either. I just see advertisements for it. And I'm like, dude, these advertisements make your place look disgusting. Like, there's nothing appealing about the ads of showing like 4 sliders. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Is it just me?
No, I'm with
maybe
you.
there has to be nostalgia attached to it. I think like growing up in the South and you've seen those, you're like, oh, that's amazing, and then you kind of just grow into it.
Yeah, well, growing up, we used to get them. We call them gut bombs.
Jesus,
it's yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I like them is because when I was younger, I remember being excited to eat them. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was bad. The best part was Jake C. The smallest human, one of the smallest humans I know. Literally, I think he probably ate 15 of those things. Just fucking blitzed out of his mind. I remember at one point he was just carrying around fucking I'm like like a handful of them. Just but yeah, that was quite the night.
When I think of Jake C in person, like if I were to meet up with him, I just imagine him being stoned out of his mind at all times, just like chilling.
Yeah,
you know,
you just said if you meet him. So this is I know we'll go to the next topic. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Why no TwitchCon?
What do you mean? Like why don't I go?
Yeah, why don't you go? Oh, because we're like, here's the thing. So myself, Mr. Tasty, and T Papa, we have rented out a large, basically a compound with 2 houses on it and like a huge backyard, like massive. And like we want all the streamers to come there, and we want everybody to meet everybody, and basically have like our own little kind of RuneFest type deal. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So
when is?
I would love when is TwitchCon?
Yeah,
it's the first weekend of October.
See, the thing is, like I never pay attention to TwitchCon. I just have never really cared because it always seems like something where I'm like the baby going there, you know, like I'm like the one that's like.
Well, yeah, well, that's how I feel too about it as well. I'm in the same, like as far as the convention goes, but it's interesting too because there will still be. I know, at least personally, I know a good bit of people who watch all of us who plan on going, who like, you know, people who watch us who want to meet us, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to be like fucking Amaranth there and have like a fucking photo shoot and like thousands of people wanting to meet us, but
have a booth, specialized booth for Prison Joe to get pictures.
No, I think, but all of us are gonna kind of be together, and just with that, I feel like we'll at least have some people we can meet or whatever at the convention. And the convention's cool. They got, like you said, there's tons of booths, tons of stuff going on, so it'll be cool just to go. But yeah, that's the main reason is that we got that big place, kind of in the thought that everybody could come there.
Where is it?
And meet up. San Diego.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think it just slips my mind about TwitchCon. I just don't think of it. I'm like, that sounds like something
that's
I would
a fair.
Yeah.
Because if something that you would be interested in be like what RuneFest, because all of us want to go there. Like I would love to go, but they're not having it. Next time they have it, I will be there. Because apparently I saw recently they said that it is going to happen eventually. What is his name? I can't remember his name. Somebody who's close with Jagex, because I think it was Foe tweeted on it not happening, and then the guy replied and said that that's not true, basically.
Okay.
So hopefully it happens in the future. I would rather go to that than TwitchCon.
Yeah, that's how
just because all the RuneScape people will be there, and you know it's what you want. But
see, I guess that might be the difference. Is like you're talking about TwitchCon, but then you're also saying like a bunch of RuneScape creators are there, which is exactly what I
Yes.
want. When I think of TwitchCon, I just think of myself and like a couple people just
Exactly.
doing
And I would want to
nothing.
get that out there. Any other creators out there, we have a good space. Get in contact. You know, you can't stay there, but if you're staying close, we would love for you to come hang out. That's all I'm saying. And by hang out, I mean not do drugs and get very intoxicated. So, open invitation. Anyway, you can move
That
on.
actually sounds fun. You know what? I actually might reach out to you on that because I'm not going to lie. When you sit in your room and are building a stream for 3 years, you kind of start having these urges, believe it or not, to go and like see real life people and like have hangouts.
Yeah, dude, honestly, and like that's the craziest thing because like my first kind of meetup I did with streamers was, you know, Kajino, correct?
Yep.
Was with him, and Lisa was there, and Zoe was there, Mr. Easyscape, I'm sure you know him, and a few others, and like it was a lot, like meeting those people in real life. And then the next one I did was the Taste Giving, and like a Cole one was there, legend, right?
Yep.
Miss Whale, massive fan of Whale. I love Whale. Whale is one of my favorite streamers. He's awesome. Tasty, of course, like say less, you know, like just tons of like big content creators who I love, look up to. And like when I walked in, I was the last person to get there. So when I walked in the door, all of them are just standing there, and it was a lot. That's the most stressed out I've been in like a couple of years for sure. I was sweating. Like my forehead was sweating. Like it was
Not your hands though. Not your hands.
Not my hands. But I was fucking, because I remember I pulled up to the door and I could hear all their voices because like they're already like partying, and I was like, holy shit, this is a lot right now.
Yeah, that would be a lot for me. It's
Yeah.
so strange having been somewhat pretty social throughout all of my childhood. Like I was always trying to be the class clown. And
Same
like
here.
then you just take 3 years off of like seeing people and it's all virtual, and it's like, damn, I forgot how to I think maybe I've convinced myself I forgot how to like interact with people in real life.
No, and the streaming has made me interact less. Like I mean, I still go touch grass, hang out with my family, go see like my friends in real life. But it's drove me away from it a little bit. And like I said, it's life for me is a juggling balance between work and the streaming and the personal life and just all this. It's just go.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, that was, but that night I will never forget walking in and just seeing they're in this big ass line to like greet me.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit. It was a lot, man. Like I was ready to fight my way out.
That's so cool.
It was, it was, but yeah, anyway, we
All
can
right.
move on.
Ignoble Solid asks, do you think you could have persevered through all your dry streaks if you weren't streaming? And before you answer, let me just read all of them. Hobbies outside of streaming and losing all your money, and any specific RS goals post-max.
Whew. I love Ignoble. I have not listened to the full podcast, by the way, but
So you don't love him.
I mean, it's 5 hours, okay? I love him about 2 hours, maybe not 5. Anyway, absolutely not. There's no way. The dry streaks, streaming is what made it bearable. It's because that's why I love streaming. No one's there to watch the gameplay, okay? No one, if you watch me, you're not there for the gameplay. You're there to hang out, listen to music, memes, jokes, whatever, interaction. It's very light. And I'm not serious. You can say some wild, horny shit. I'm not going to ban you unless you get into the realm of stuff that's just like, no, regardless of, you know, TOS stuff.
Yep.
So definitely not, though. I mean, a lot of people know this is funny because that brings up why I started streaming. So the reason I started streaming was because of the shit boss that everybody loves, Vorkath. I think about 3,000 or 4,000. I made it my goal to go for pet. You know, I was like, I like this boss, and I thought the pet was really cool.
You didn't learn from Neil to not go for the Vorkath?
Well, that's how I met Neil.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to get the pet, and I was about 3,000 or so dry, and my clanmates were like, "You're never gonna get it." I'm just in a casual PVM clan, and I was like, "They're like, you should stream it," and I was like, "Well," I was like, "How about this?" I was like, "If I make it to 5,000 without getting it, I will start streaming it." And sure enough, I did. and I bought my little shit streaming setup, and I started streaming it, and I streamed it for months. I streamed Warcath for months, 5-6 days a week, 3-4 hours a stream with 1, 2, 3 viewers. Literally nobody watching, and just me, just rambling, going on, talking. I loved it. So honestly, some of those streams are fun of the ones I do now. It was great, and that's how I met Neil, because he was also very dry for the pet. I believe he ended up going 18,000 and some change.
Something crazy.
Yeah, and I finally probably around getting like 8,000 or 9,000 when I finally started to gain any traction streaming. Also because I got a random secondhand Odablock array, so shout out to Bruzzo. Thank you. He had hosted a very lovely female staking streamer who scrolled down. I watched her VOD. She scrolled down to the video. She said, let's find somebody who's working hard out there. And there I was, the bottom down there. It said like 8,000 dry plus for Warcath Pet or something. She's like, yeah, we're going to rate him. And so that was very helpful. It's like 400 something people. So I turned it on, and some of those people from that raid still watch my stream today. Wow. So that was definitely helpful to get some traction. But I ended up going 10,000 dry for Warcath. And then everybody was like, what's next? I was like, well, Zora, of course, the next money farming boss that I could think of. And so I ended up doing 9,400 Zora for the mutagen.
Sheesh.
So, and then of course, recently I did almost 12,000 Kraken for the pet. The worst boss to go dry on. The worst boss to stream. I think I'm the only main account in RuneScape history who has streamed Kraken successfully in any manner at all. Tough to stream. Not easy.
Dude, Kraken. Well, okay, wait. What are your thoughts on the Kraken pet?
Horrible pet.
What?
I don't like it.
Dude.
The only good thing about it is it gets the Santa hat in Christmas.
Yeah,
time.
that's what I was going to say. I was like, okay,
That's
you
the
know
best
what?
part.
Kraken is not a respectable pet grind-wise or, status-wise and everything.
No.
But Kraken
no,
is one of the
not.
best fucking pets. It's a little yellow squishy guy that's really tiny, and he always gets a Santa hat. So he's always festive, always chilling, always swimming,
That's true. You sell it a lot better than I would. I honestly, I hated it because people didn't see the hours of time. Well, some people did, like my friends and other streamers, the hours of time I spent tutorial skipping to get a Kraken task to stream. I mean, it was tough, man. It really, and like towards the end of it, this is the first time in a long time I did not enjoy streaming. And viewership and everything reflects that. When you're pissed off and you're live, I'm sure, as you know, it's not good.
Yep, and it's a vicious cycle.
It's the first time in a very, very long time I was not happy streaming something. But I kept going because I was so far into it. Like I let almost 12,000. Like that's it's so crazy. And it's such a this is the worst part is it's such fast KC, but getting the fucking task can be just miserable. I've had like a 4-hour dry streak trying to get a task before.
Jesus.
It's just It was quite a grind, but yeah, streaming. If it wasn't for streaming, no shot I'd make it through that. As far as hobbies outside of streaming, obviously the gym. I enjoy going to the gym, working out. I do jujitsu anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. Just depends on how much time I have. Love that. I'm big on fishing. Not as much here lately. I've not fished as much as I'd like to. I need to get my ass out there. I love to fish. That's like my primary Kekona Southern activity I love partaking in is definitely fishing, 100%. And then also cooking. I like to cook. I'm pretty basic with what I cook, but I enjoy the process of setting food out, getting the spices together, the seasoning, everything, and then doing a nice big meal prep. I usually do big meal preps.
Okay.
With primarily chicken or ground turkey or beef or whatever. Nothing crazy, but I just enjoy the process of it.
Yeah. And
then there's gaming, and then every now and then I'll go out and I'll see some friends, hang out, whatever. I'm pretty that's pretty, and then work, I work like you told me earlier, I'm a workaholic. I really am. I'm kind of addicted to working. I work a ton. So probably more than I should, but it is what it is. I enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah.
It brings me purpose. And if it didn't, I would honestly, a lot of people ask me, you ever going to try full-time content creation, I love my job. So that's the only reason I don't. If I disliked it at all, I would literally quit tomorrow and give it a go, full-time streaming. But
that's crazy. Everyone's just built different. Like, you just have your, you love work, and some people even take it a step further. I mean, my brother's old boss was like a 30-year-old that would work 100 hours a fucking week. Like, that's just all he did. Just like work. And he loved it. Like, that was just his personality. And he worked out.
Grinders like that. Like, if you know he's one of my mods, really good guy. His Twitch name is Buster Cervix. I believe he's probably on the topics here too.
Of course, I know Buster Cervix.
He does welding work, and he's kind of one of those guys that literally just working like 100 hours a week every week, and literally drinks like 4 bangs a day, drinks no water, and somehow just lives.
Dude, it's just weird because I am not that person. I am not a workaholic.
There's people who are built for it, and there's people who are not. I think it's definitely culture around where I'm from is the work. Like, I started working when I was probably 11 or 12. I primarily worked in greenhouses growing up. So a lot of maintenance work, a lot of landscaping work, a lot of, real backbreaking, like honest fucking kind of work that, definitely built me for that. Like, now that I'm working in a job that's not, sometimes it is, but primarily not manual labor, it feels easy to me because all those years I was out in the fucking heat just grinding, just hours and hours and hours of that, because I did that my whole life leading up until I went to college. So working outside and doing landscaping and operating machinery and playing in the dirt. So
yeah, there's something just in you, like just deep within your, I don't know, genetics. This probably isn't scientific, but just people.
It really is genetic because my entire family, both sides, lineage, all the way back, are all farmers. All the way back on both. They're all big people too, like big, stout, like my mom, for example, she's almost 6'3" tall. My dad's like 6'3", 6'4". My brother's like 6'8". My sister, she's huge. She's like 6'1". Like, just,
and you're what?
And then everybody back. I'm almost 6'4", like right under it, I would say. Maybe with some shoes on. I like to say 6'4". You always got to give yourself an inch.
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well, 5'11", but give yourself an inch. So that's like the perfect. You got to give yourself that extra inch. Because why not? Why not give yourself the extra inch?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better when you tell her it's 7.
Well, 3 for me. I'll up it to 3 now. But what was the other thing you asked? Okay, any specific RS goals post max?
Oh, okay. Well, I've thought about this a lot, and I'm at the impasse. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if I still enjoy the pet hunting aspect of the max main.
Yeah.
But the more I play, the more Ironman looks tempting. So there could possibly be an Ironman Prison Joe in the future, which everybody asks me about all the time. They're like, why don't you do Ironman? You'd have so much better viewership. You'd have so much better content, blah, 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 blah. I've had a lot of people who have asked me.
Yeah. Dude.
And I tell them, like, I enjoy what I'm doing now. I'm enjoying playing my main account. I like it. And the day where I don't enjoy that, I will probably consider doing an Ironman account.
There's no way this name's available, but Iron Prison, man. Iron Prison. Can you just imagine that badass walking around outside of Lumbridge, just like,
oh yeah,
slaying cows and shit?
The real question is, I definitely got to start as a hardcore, right? Just at least see how long I can make it. Because I think if I did do one, I would do a hardcore, and then as soon as I die, I would just continue playing Iron.
You won't continue. You'll just remake a hardcore. But
I'm not gonna be a remake Andy.
Listen, everyone says that. The fact that you're even wanting to make a hardcore in the first place makes it so you're gonna want to make another one. I swear to God, you will remake.
I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Yeah. I feel like people remake for the content aspect of, because if you look at, like, at least in my opinion, I'm generalizing, but the best product on the market as far as being a streamer goes that brings the most traffic to your channel is hardcore Ironman. I think it's the most redeeming to watch. I'm generalizing. Mm-hmm. I know that not everybody likes that shit, but I will say in general, looking at like the top content creators, the people who are doing the best numbers, at least for the majority, majority of them, not everybody, I'm generalizing, are hardcore Ironman or Ironman, a variation of Iron. They're an Ironman of some sort.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Which I would, because as far as ultra successful streamers who only play main accounts, I don't know any other one. I can think of two. Obviously, Mr. It's Will, who is definitely, he's actually one of the main inspirations for me streaming too, because I watched him a long time ago and I was like, it's when I was thinking about streaming and I was watching him and I was like, okay, he's a main account. All he's doing is just hunting pets. I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we can make this work. And but yeah, I can think of him and Tasty, and there's not really, I can't really think of anybody else who's like at a very like high level in the section who is just playing a main account. That's about all I can think of. It's definitely a tougher go to stream it because they're like I feel like there's just a lot more content with the Iron accounts. I think it kind of makes everything, I don't know, it makes everything more exciting, I guess.
Yeah, there is something, and yeah, that's also just subjective. But I feel like, yeah, like you're saying, the majority of the community, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely generalizing. I know that not everybody agrees with that, but I think like just in the totality of everything, I feel like that is kind of that's how I see it, at least.
So you heard Bodie's going back to his main account, right? Or he already is on his main account.
Yes, I watched his last video.
So what do you think about how there's Will's more variety? I don't even see him as being like exclusively RuneScape at all. But
whoa,
what?
That's a big take.
He's variety. Like,
you think so?
I see Will as he is now a variety streamer more than a RuneScape
because he went
streamer.
to the streamer awards.
No. He is always okay. Here's the thing, like every time I pop into a stream now, it's like hardly ever RuneScape. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like 80% of the streams I pop into, it's something else.
I believe his schedule is he does one variety day a week, and then the rest is RuneScape. I know sometimes he did. I know with the Elden Ring he got really deep into it.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
I think that was it. I think that a few different and it's funny because I always make fun of Max for literally being an It's Will clone. He also got deep into it as well.
Yeah. No, Elden Ring's badass.
No, it looks amazing. I don't have the fucking time to get that. I can't.
You don't have the time for Elden Ring, but you have the time for RuneScape. Elden Ring takes like 80 hours to beat, I heard.
Not for me. Maybe for someone who's proficient, man. I played the Souls games, but it's been a long time. I probably would be good content. I would be me raging the entire time for sure.
Yeah. I get nervous of streaming other games. By the way, the reason I brought up Bodhi was I wanted to ask, do you think that's going to bring some life back to mains and maybe make it more popular for viewers?
I think to an extent, yes, but I think that his community is so set in stone and people love him so much that he could literally fucking stream him mowing his lawn and there's going to be 1,000 people there.
Oh yeah,
I'd watch that. I mean, he's the king. He's the guy. He's, he really is. As far as RuneScape goes, and then as far as the, and then Odablock is up there as well. Also, he's and I know but like you said, I would see him more as a variety than
same. Yeah, no, you're probably right.
But when he does stream RuneScape, I know a lot of people. Some people don't like him. Say what you want. The guy's entertaining. He's literally built for entertainment. I mean, he is what he is. There's a reason he is what he is. If that makes sense. Yep.
No, there always is.
I'm a fan though. I'm a big fan. I think he's hilarious. I know some people don't, but there's a reason why he's where he's at.
Isn't that funny that you almost, when you bring up the name Odablock, you almost need to preface it as, other people, like some people don't like him, but it's like, I don't know.
I think majority of people do like him, but I've just seen a lot of people,
No, that's the thing.
Him. Even people in my chat have disparaged him. I'm like, that's fine. But the numbers speak for themselves.
That's literally just so funny. Like, imagine it was me. That's like every time anybody ever brings up Sae Bae, it's like, oh, I know a lot of people fucking hate him, but like, just imagine you always had to preface my name that way. I know, but you're totally accurate about it. Like, I'm just stating it as that's just an observation. Like, I see it every fucking time. Anytime Odablock's ever brought up, it's always prefaced by, I know a lot of people don't like him, but this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a shame I have to even say that, really, because honestly, I should just stop saying that. I don't know why I fucking said that, really. I really should even have to say that. I mean,
Nah, I mean,
he's
it's on
entertaining.
everybody's mind. That's the funny thing. It's just an observation. I just see it, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing with, I mean, anybody. Everybody has their. I mean, Odablock is just such a bold character that you
Yes.
need an opinion on him. You know, like
Yeah.
everybody has an opinion if they've ever seen him. So
Yeah, I get that too, and I've had a lot of people who, you know, because I'm pretty strong in my personality and character, and say a lot of stupid shit. So I've gotten the same responses to me before, so I can relate a little bit, not on his level obviously, but I can relate a little bit.
let me ask you about this. I feel like I could ask you over almost anybody in the community, and I think you would have a cool opinion about it. So remember back when Fat Clouds was grinding for partner?
Yes, some of the greatest streams of all, honestly, greatest streams of all time. I wish he was, but I know he was putting on hard. I wish, dude. That's what made me fall in love with him, because I related so much to his style of streaming, of ranting, raving, and just full blast, full fucking. And I was the same way, kind of when I was like, I used to be a bit more. I'm a little bit more laid back now, but I still get pretty wide. Go ahead. Sorry.
So no, like Fat Clouds back then. First of all, he changed what I thought a streamer could even do. Like, he was brutally honest about every single fucking thing he would say, and it was funny as shit, because you don't even. He takes himself so not seriously, which is such a good thing to have with streaming. Just joke about yourself. Yes. Now, he would bring up things about he would say, "Oh, if I were to become a staking streamer, I would pop off." And I feel like he was 100% accurate.
No, yes, definitely, for sure.
So
yes,
let me just ask you. I actually think Fat Clouds had the potential to be Odablock, like to be in that realm of like the top OSRS controversial streamers, Fat Clouds and Odablock. Just, but the only way for that to have happened would have been for Fat Clouds to become a staking streamer or something that's just.
Well, that brings the traffic.
Yeah, just super entertaining, super
100%.
Yeah. Fat Clouds had it.
I think so, but I think the difference between him and Odablock is I think that Odablock, that is naturally his personality, and I think that Fat Clouds, and he'll admit it, he was playing more of a character.
That's true.
I think that is the primary difference there, is why he wouldn't commit to that fully. I think that for Odablock, he's just naturally that way.
Well,
obviously everybody is trying to entertain. Like, I'm pretty, like, the way I stream is pretty much my personality, but it's just kind of an exaggerated version of myself. I'm a little bit louder, a little bit, you know, I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm streaming. So
yeah, and I mean, I don't think Odablock acts the exact same way he does on stream. And so I see Fat Clouds, and like, I think Fat Clouds was taking it to a further extreme. Like, he was pushing himself out of it. But
I don't know if you ever talked to him in private. He's a very
relaxed, no, I remember my
guy.
first time in Kettle Boys just popped in, and I'm like, Fat Clouds hasn't said a word yet. He's just vaping.
Hey, shout the fuck out to the Kettle Boys. If you know, you know.
He's just so chill. And you know what? I'm happy for Fat Clouds. I'm happy he decided to do what he wanted to do instead of getting pressured into anything.
Yeah. I love him, and the 200 mil, it'll happen one day. I have full faith.
Oh yeah.
So, and I told him the day he makes it, he will receive $1,000 from me if he can make it.
Damn.
That's
what did he say? 5-year plan?
I think I believe he's got like 3 years left, so hopefully I have some money by then.
Start saving, that's awesome. No, he'll get it. He'll easily, like, the fact that he's only had a few burnouts, but he always. I
remember you having some burnouts, because I remember your partner push as well, and when you were like, I was there for it as well. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the early day streams. I remember all of ours, our shitty overlays, everything. It was fantastic. My overlays were terrible. It looked like it was like Microsoft Paint. It was awful. It was so bad. Fucking.
God damn it.
But I remember those streams. I remember you catching heat for the Tbow.
Yeah, that was. Wait, you were there for that? That was so long. That was 3 years ago.
I won't let the people forget, man. You scammed that Tbow, damn it.
And dude, okay, let me just take a step back to that moment because you brought it up. So let me just say my piece, Because
go ahead.
okay, you know what's really funny is I still live rent free in like a few Redditors' heads. Whenever I make any Reddit post, there's always like one or two people that's in there saying you scammed a Tbow, and then they reply that to every fucking comment that's seen there, and they're all downvoted because they're just so obnoxious about it. So let me just say my piece real quick. So 3 years ago, this guy in my stream, super obnoxious troll, he would go around just saying really inappropriate things, harassing viewers and stuff.
Does he still watch? Is he still a user in communities?
Oh,
today,
no.
Okay, I didn't
I think
so.
the last time I've even heard of him was like 2.5 years ago. So, although, who knows? Maybe he just had a name change and he's the one that's on Reddit always posting that shit. So, anyway, we did a roll. I singled him out. So how I used to deal with trolls back then is instead of banning them, I would give them a lot of attention so that, basically the reason most people troll is because they want attention. So I'd give it to them because it's just fun, So I gave him a joking exclusive offer. There was plenty of other viewers in it. And I said, you know what, man? If you roll a 1 in 100 right here, I'll give you my Tbow. And he rolled the 1 in 100 and he missed it. And then he was like, I want a re-roll. And then I was like, sure, you get a re-roll. And then on the re-roll, he got it. He somehow fucking rolled a 51 and he said 51. I have no idea how, but it happened. And then, and you know what's even funny about that is when I rolled it in the chat, I think there's somebody that's recorded the Twitch log to that. He said, oh, this roll doesn't count or something like that. He said that, and then I rolled it and it won. And then he was like, oh, it counted. And so then we did one more roll to do the best 2 out of 3, and it was a 1 in 2 shot. I said, okay, you know what? You won 1, you failed 1. I'm gonna give you one more shot. 1 out of 2.
That's where you fucked up right there.
I said 1 out of 2, and you know what he did? He said 2, and it rolled a fucking 1. So he failed it. He failed it.
Okay, all right. Then that was a big gamble by you, honestly.
No. Because I did realize, I was like, shit. And so he rolled the wrong number. And anyway, then I ended my stream. And he left the stream. He was like pissed off or something like that. He kept yelling like, I want my Tbow. I want my Tbow. And I was like, get the fuck out of my stream. And then the next morning on Reddit, I see this post that was made the night before. And it's Sae Bae scams Tbow from me, and then he posts a clip of only showing like 10 seconds of where he rolls the right number but with zero other context. And he made up this story saying how I do this thing where I scam my viewers. I always do giveaway. I had never done a giveaway in my entire life except for right there as a joke. And then he made up this whole thing. And then a bunch of the comments were like, who the fuck is Sae Bae? Because this is like 3 years ago. And they're like, yeah, that guy that looks like a piece of shit. Fuck this guy. Anyway, I go live unknowing. I don't check Reddit every morning. And so I just go live. No. And I start getting like bombarded with follows.
I remember. I was in there. I wasn't in there for when you did it. I just saw the clip. The clip that you're saying is taken out of context.
Dude, it was so bad. Like, I got so many people coming into my stream that next day, for the next week, actually, that were like, hey, fuck you, man. Like, give the guy a Tbow, you piece of shit.
I remember. I was there in the chat when that was happening. Like, where people were just coming in there just filleting you.
So at this point, whenever it's brought up, I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy. I scammed him of a Tbow. Because for so long, for years, I was just saying I didn't scam him. And then I'd have to like go into the story. But now I'm like, fuck the story. I'm just going to say I scammed him. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, let me just move on with my life. And it's always brought up when every Reddit post, there's some comment from probably that guy or his friend that just makes it a huge deal.
Well, yeah. There's your context, and unfortunately on the internet, a lot of people do not care about context at all. They like to draw the assumption, and and it's the most unfortunate thing. A part about the context is that a simple conversation can solve so much.
It's crazy, yeah.
People don't want to have that conversation. Okay, so there's that Sae Bae scandal. So what happened with this art show? Okay, I'm interested by this. What this art show?
Oh God, you just want to pick all the controversy. This is the reason you want to be on the cast, right? No, okay. I'll briefly go into this real quick.
Yeah, I just want to hear a brief. So now I don't know about it. I've just read.
Here's the brief because I'm not a huge fan of bringing up past shit. And to be honest, in this situation, I was in the wrong. And, I understand I was in the wrong. So, basically, I held an art competition. I said, hey, I want a new Spotify logo for the Sae Bae cast. And a lot of people listening probably already know this because I literally posted it on YouTube. I've deleted the video since because it was just causing a bunch of confusion and shit. But basically, I set up this thing just out of my own free will and choice. I said, hey, I'm giving away $500, $350 to the first place winner, $100 to the second place, and $50 to the third place winner of this art competition. I'm only going to choose one for the winner, of course, but the other two will get some money because they tried. Anyway, I got 6 submissions. 1 was amazing, and the other 5 were complete dog shit memes. And part of it was just copying other people's art. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Now, I said, hey, I don't know what to do. So I made a video. I said, I don't know what to do. Do I even make a straw poll to say who's second and third place? Because they're all equally garbage, and I'm not going to choose any of them. Like, if there wasn't already a first place winner, I would have just canceled the whole event because it's just awful. So what I decided to do was I said, you know what? I'm not going to give any money to any of the other 5 people, but I'm going to pay the winner $200 because of the lack of competition. And I was in DMs with this individual, and everything was fine. Now, I know that I was in the wrong by shorting her $150. And so, a few hours later, I came to her after a bunch of negativity in the comments. And it was not to say, oh, it's all... By the way, I got a bunch of comments saying, oh, you only fixed it because you got called out on it. Okay. So basically what you're saying is there's nothing I can do ever to make this right, because if anybody has ever said anything of what I should do, then I am just following what they said. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm getting really just... Anyway, let me just finish it off. Anyway, I said, I DM'd the person, the individual. I said, hey, that was shady of me. I'm sorry for shorting you $150. You did deserve the first place prize money, which is $350. Paid her it, and I didn't pay the other people. Anyway, I made a video just explaining everything, how I was wrong in the situation, and I was still getting backlash. Just a ton of it. Like, you need to pay second and third place. I'm like, there's no fucking second and third place people to even get. And then other people were like trying to find any way to just make it worse. And so they're like, you need to pay the full $500 to her because you're not paying the other people. And so there was just a bunch of bullshit. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody that's involved in this situation, it has been made right. I've talked to every single one privately, and I don't give a fuck about some individual YouTube commenters that make it their problem. So, yes. So I literally just deleted both videos, and I'm like, dude, everything is made right. Anyway, I got some other shit. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna give this person credit, but a person made a lying Reddit post about it. They got like 300 upvotes saying Sae Bae from the Sae Bae cast offers money for some Sae Bae art, or for some Sae Bae cast art, and then doesn't pay the winner but takes the art anyway. That was literally the title. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, you're literally just trying to cause drama. So then I got a bunch of other commenters saying, yeah, Sae Bae's a shady piece of shit. He scammed a Tbow one time, I remember. And so all that shit was brought up as well. I'm like, so I literally just apologized in the Reddit post. Of course, this is like 8 hours later where nobody's even going to see it. Gets no traction. Anyway, yeah. So basically, moral of the story, I'm not a perfect person. I fuck up. I make mistakes. I try to make things right, though, and I'm not going to, like, double down on things. If I know I'm in the wrong, I'm going to try my best to make it right, and I feel like I did that. Anyway, people love to just get back into drama, try to stir things up.
People love to be outraged to feel purpose. It's just natural, man. I commend you. Respect. Have you spoke on this before on the cast?
I think maybe we had talked about it briefly when the event had first happened. But you know what? Okay. After all this stuff, and of course, I'm not saying, oh, I've just been caught up in so much shit where it's never my fault. I know I've been in the wrong, but now I have a lot more empathy for people that get harassed online in the RuneScape community. Like, people make a mistake, everyone jumps on it, or sometimes it's not even a mistake. It's just something that people find annoying, and then they just make it a huge deal. I actually saw a tweet on Reddit about Theoatrix. It was just a screenshot of a tweet. He was saying, "Hey, I just want to apologize to everyone. I saw that. I saw that, and as a man, I respect that he said that. I respect, and he says on there he's not trying to make an excuse. He's just acknowledging it. He was not in a good place at the time. Yeah, he's acknowledging it, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Like, if you think about your life and what you've been through, you've done some terrible, everybody's done terrible things, made absolute awful mistakes. Imagine if those are all just public discourse.
Yep.
It's confusing to me, and it's frustrating to me how, not just in the RuneScape section, but just in the totality of life through all different communities of every avenue, how people get so upset, and just the virtue signaling is just, it's out of control. It really is. And like, if people really look at themselves and think about some of the things they've done in their life, and if it was just out there in the public, how people would react to it,
yeah,
it wouldn't be good.
Yeah, that's...
And I think people need to remember that. They need to humble themselves and remember that before they say some stupid fucking shit going after somebody, and just understand that people fuck up. And you went about it in a good way, man, honestly. But the Tbow thing, I was going to ask you, that third time you rolled,
yep,
if you would have hit the 2, would you have gave it to him?
Yeah.
You would have. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you took a big gamble on that. Fucking respect.
Yeah. I mean,
fucking 1 and 2. You should at least do 1 and 4.
I'll be
Holy
honest.
shit.
I'll be honest. Like, in hindsight, okay, in the moment, at least what I can recall, this is 3 years ago. In my head, yeah, if he had rolled the right number, I would have given it to him. And part of the reason, is it actually probably would have helped my channel to all of a sudden, oh shit, he had to give a Tbow away because he lost this thing. Now he has to rebuild a Tbow. And again, that was
That's
in the
true,
moment.
yeah.
That was in the moment before all this other shit where he made a Reddit post like basically going after me and making up other shit without context. Now, of course, when I think about it now, I don't want to give a guy a Tbow. He's a piece of shit. But at the same time, in that moment, yes, if he had rolled it, I probably just would have given it to him. I'd have been like, you know what? It's a fucking Tbow. I can get another one. I'm grinding chambers already. So
I can't believe they did you like that with the art competition. I didn't know much about it. I just I remember hearing just kind of a brief rundown, and it's pretty much what you told me. There wasn't any good submissions. There was only one good submission, and you ended up paying that person, and then people complain about how much you paid them, and then you paid them more, and they still complain.
Yeah, there's no winning, so you just gotta remove it.
Sometimes there's no winning, and you just gotta do what you do and fuck them.
Yep.
It's what it is. But respect for speaking on it too. I figured you'd be cool to talk about it, but
yeah, no, I don't really mind. I just don't like it when it's brought up in a negative thing. Like if somebody wants to know the story of it, that's cool. But
I was curious.
Yeah.
I really was. I was curious about both of them because, like I said, I remember the Tbow. All I've seen is that clip, which is, like you said, completely out of context.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But we can move on.
Let's get Megan's topic. Shout out, Megan. What's your favorite content on OSRS at the moment? And can you help me fix my mic or stop complaining about it? Thank you.
Well, getting into a voice call with Megan would be dangerous for me, one. So I don't know about that second part. I'm gonna try and work on myself, and maybe we can make that happen. Favorite content though has definitely been lately, definitely ToB and the 24-hour Road to Max skilling streams, because I know I touched on it earlier briefly, but basically my plan has been one 24-hour stream every month, no incentives, just I'm doing a 24-hour stream of skilling only just to push myself to max my account, because skilling's hard for me. I'm a shitty main, so it is tough to motivate myself to skill. So I love those streams. I enjoy them. I really do. It's like I like going through all the different time zones, and every time I do one of those streams, I meet new viewers who are, who don't usually watch me, and it's kind of like a journey. Really, it really is. It's nice. I really have enjoyed the 24-hour skilling streams, and yeah, I'm doing one a month. Whether it doesn't matter what happens, I will be live for 24 hours on those streams. And then of course ToB Tuesdays, which there might be a question or two about ToB Tuesday, and I'm very excited for Tombs Tuesday. Tombs, everyone say it.
Tombs
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tombs is with an E. Tombs is with a B.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you better apologize. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the Southern education.
A cold one asks, craziest story in your time in law enforcement, in parentheses, that you are allowed to share within the TOS of Twitch, YouTube, NDA. Or Kroger, we should say. What's the craziest story at Kroger?
I once slipped an aisle 4 and had to bust it down sexual style in front of everybody.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's probably, that about got me fired and canceled and ratio. But as far as law enforcement, well, as far as everybody, I talk about openly because people ask, a lot of people come in the stream and they ask, you're like, have you been to prison? That's one of the main questions people ask. And I tell them that I have a background in corrections. Also have a background in police work as well. I have experience doing police work, and I will tell one story. I'm not gonna go into any type of gruesome type story. This one is just very crazy, weird, and strange. It's when I was doing police related work, and just a normal, just taking calls, people call 911. And you'd be very surprised about what people call 911 for. There are some. A lot of times we know it's people who are nosy who call 911 and it's just unnecessary. And then there's just this huge, there's a crazy amount of parents who call 911 because they don't have control of their child, essentially.
Interesting.
Which I guess is lack of disciplining their child and just being a parent, I guess. But there's not a lot of calls like this, but there's a lot of calls in regard to that where they're like, my kid's, not listening to me. Which I would assume that most parents would agree that if you're present in your child's life and you're parenting them, that typically they will listen to you, especially with the appropriate amount of discipline and, parenting. So, but there was a call about a parent called in and she was basically stating that her son would not stop masturbating. And you gotta understand, I'm pretty green at this point. I'm pretty new. So we show up to this house. I think the kid was 12 or 13.
Went over there?
Yeah.
Wait, is that just protocol? If you call it, whether you hate the police, it's not even hating them. It's literally the guy's masturbating.
I'm just saying, whatever your prerogative is towards the police, if you call 911, they will show up.
Okay.
Nine times out of 10, we'll go out there and at least conduct a welfare check.
That's cool.
Quote unquote. And yeah, well, the mom was calling in. She said she needed help. She said he couldn't get it under control, that he was profusely masturbating, would not stop. And I'm just like, what? And we show up and yeah, we go inside and the son is standing there with his pants down, watching a Tennessee Titans football game ferociously.
What the fuck?
Going at it. And,
was he on drugs?
No, just no. And pretty much that ended with us just telling him to stop. I mean, there's not much, there's no crime occurring there. Not one in the TCA of the state laws of Tennessee that I can think about. So we told him to stop and he stopped. And we kind of just advised him, hey, if you're going to do that kind of thing, maybe do it in the privacy of your room. It was weird, man, but that is definitely one of the weirdest, most strange. That's definitely one of the weirdest. I only thought of that because I told that story the other day to Q-Nix. I was talking to him and I told that story to him.
Weird.
It's yeah, and I've seen many of other very strange things that some things I hope people never have to see, and some things that were pretty entertaining. But yeah. I will stop it at that. We'll leave it at that story. That's a pretty decent one.
I just have something to add, just because you were talking about police just heading over to your home regardless. It's actually funny because I didn't actually even consider there was a time in my life where my little brother was so young. He might have been 3 or something, and he was just on the home phone and he had typed somewhere in the numbers of just spamming numbers on the home phone. He had typed 9111111, just a billion ones, and so. Basically, it got a hold of the cops, and then, of course, you're hearing a little baby talking, and so they came over to the house, and apparently they'll just always come, is what you said. And yes. I'm not going to lie. So I was getting broken into this apartment. There was a person trying to break in through the back door, 2 years ago or something. And I was panicking. I don't know what, this is the first time this has ever happened to me in my life, 25 years old.
Were you there while it happened?
Yeah, no, I was... literally in my underwear. My brother had just gone to work. It was probably 9 a.m. I was just getting out of bed. I was putting in my contacts. I only had one contact in, and I had my fucking boxers on. I'm like,
I'm going to assume, and I'm just going to assume you don't own a firearm.
nope. I was very much after
You have
that
a bat,
trying to get a
knife,
firearm.
bat, something.
So what I did was like in the back, there's a room attached. It's actually our gym room that we call, and there's just an outside door that leads to like the patio and then leads to like the parking garage and stuff. But yeah, so they were trying to break in and they were hammering on the door, and like I could see the light peering in because I went in there. I'm like, what the fuck?
What time was it? It was nighttime.
No, it was 9 a.m. It was just raining. It was raining outside, really loud.
Gosh.
And it was 9 a.m. where a bunch of people had already gone to work. It was probably like, I think it was like a Tuesday or something. Yeah, this guy just started trying to break in, and it was pretty loud out because it rains really hard here. So it was like perfect time to try to break in. Yeah, anyway, so I just was standing there in my boxers with a contact in my hand and one in my eye, and I'm like, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Like, and I realized my fight or flight, because I don't think I've ever truly had a fight or flight besides then, and that wasn't even like the extremes of what it would be.
That's definitely one right there.
But I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, because I had no idea what to do. I literally was like, if this guy continues to try to break in and he has a weapon or something, like, I'm gonna get like fucked over basically. So anyway, I just yelled, and then I stopped hearing the banging, and I just immediately ran into my room, grabbed my phone, called 911. And I was like, I need help now. Like, I don't know what these people are. I don't know if they're going to try to break in like the next few seconds. But I just like got dressed really quick, and I like grabbed a knife from the kitchen. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
better than nothing.
Yeah. And so then I just waited for the cops. And I'm not going to lie, when the police arrived at my door, an immense feeling of just safety. I'm like, thank God we have cops, because if I was there and like there was just no one to call or no one to get help, like I would have been panicking out of control, I think. Because it's scary.
Yeah, well, it's in my opinion at least, it is a necessary function of society. I realize that there's a lot of negative connotation involved with police, and one of the reasons I got into it was because I wanted to be the change of that connotation. That was definitely one of the driving forces of me getting into it. There's definitely bad people who do the job.
Yep.
And unfortunately, when the police make a mistake, it is put on full display.
Yeah.
And as it should be, though, it should be. Absolutely. And those people who abuse that power, they deserve the full extent of what they get. I mean, you reap what you sow. So, but it's definitely a necessary function. And yeah, regardless of, I've helped plenty of people who hate me. And that's just part of it. But that is if you call, they will show up. Some cities it takes longer, some cities not as long, or maybe you're out in the county somewhere.
Yeah, they arrived in like 3 minutes. It was insane.
Yeah, if you're in a heavy populated area, it should be pretty quick. Well, at least in the south. I know in the north, some of the really big city, like mega cities, I forgot what the Detroit response time is, but it is not good. But anyway, yeah. So okay. I'm glad at least. Would you just take like a report or something, or?
Yeah, we went around the back, and they just asked me everything that kind of had happened. And then some creepy guy, apparently he was the apartment manager. I thought he was the guy trying to break. This random guy comes out of the bush. He's like, hey, what's going on there? He's like, what's going on there? And I'm like, what? Like, is this the guy that was just trying to break in? But I'm like, some guy tried to break in. He's like, oh, really? And I was like, this is really weird. Yeah. Anyway, apparently he was the apartment manager.
One more touch on that. It is interesting that I would say there are so many people who call 911 and they're the ones who end up getting arrested. It's amazing to me. Yes. That's typically more in regard to like just more petty stuff, more misdemeanor type stuff. There's so many, like, especially domestic related stuff. There's so many times that people will call when if they wouldn't have, nobody would have went to jail and nothing would have happened. Yeah. Where they call and, when we show up, and I mean, we're there to enforce law. And if there's a law violated, typically any police officer who has any type of wants to do their job will do their job.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay. Ian Chase Van's got some questions. We already covered the Vork.
I love Ian.
So I love Ian too. Great streamer, by the way, too. I recently checked it.
Yes, he has. He has started streaming, and Ian's a great guy. And if you're out there and you need a streamer to watch, you should definitely watch him.
So he asks the things that haven't already been brought up. Any ideas when the Demon Time podcast will start up? And then, if ever financially set, would you consider hanging it up at Kroger to go full time on Twitch? And then he also asks, what's the width of the biggest pair of pants you've ever owned? Thoughts on the taste of lobster from the north versus your red lobster from the south? What pet is going to be next after you get Younglif, KQ Princess, Wildy Boss's Dusk Dawn? Or I guess he's asking which of those.
Those are definitely some good questions. Let's see here, the first one.
The podcast one.
Oh, okay. So the podcast, I've kind of had rough ideas about it. It would not be called Demon Time Podcast, but it would definitely be a more loose podcast. That is for sure. And the idea was to do it with we wanted to call it Based After Dark. And we've talked about it. We've talked about like kind of the host scenario, how it would go. My thoughts were going to be just me, Tasty, and T Papa doing a podcast together, and then just having different base members on and having different just streamers, having you on, anybody. And, it'd be RuneScape related, but, we want to kind of get into, probably some more of the dark sides of Twitch and RuneScape and, discuss, I don't know, just discuss the degenerate nature of what of what we do. I'm not sure when that would happen or if it'll happen or like kind of
it better happen.
The format.
Listen, I am craving podcasts. I need them. Mofo tried to make one and fucking made one or two episodes. I watched both of them, or I think it was two.
They were good.
Episodes.
I did too. They were
and
good.
then he just falls off the face of the earth again. And then like I don't know, Blowpipe even made he was trying to
Jimmy did? I didn't know Jimmy did. I love Jimmy.
Yeah, he was trying to make a podcast interviewing like speedrunners and stuff, and I thought that was so cool, like getting high level PBMers. Cool. And then he was one episode with RSGF and it was over. I'm like, fuck! Like, man. God damn it.
I think it's tough to say. Honestly, and I think I've talked about this with a lot of people, like, I think the key to success, or it's not the only, like, there's obviously a lot of different factors that go into success on Twitch. But one of the primary, like, themes I see is consistency. And I think that your podcast is definitely a product of that. And I think that all the top streamers in the section, like the really big ones, they're all a product of consistency, of discipline, of continuing to put out content. Obviously there's other factors. They have, they're entertaining, their content they're doing, etc. But I think that a big part of that is because if you look at any of those guys, all of them have been doing it for years. There's not too many that have had just a short-lived, just big upcoming. There's a couple, I'm sure, but at the very top, the peak, those guys have been doing it for so long. And of all the things I respect about them, that's definitely the main thing. Because I know how much of a grind that is. I'm sure just to keep going. I'm sure they go through stints where they're not enjoying the game as much as they'd like to, and they continue to press through it. So I definitely respect that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. A lot of it is consistency. And you know what the toughest part about consistency is when you're not even seeing steady growth, or maybe you're even seeing a decline in the analytics you care about. And you have to keep pushing because you got to realize things aren't always just directly upward.
100%.
So, yeah, that's the taxing part.
Yeah, but I would love to do the podcast. We definitely will discuss it more. I love to talk. I fucking can't shut up, so I would definitely.
You would kill it as a host. I have been. We've been talking for over 2 hours, and I've enjoyed every minute so far. I'm not kidding. It's fun talking to you.
Too. I appreciate it.
So make that happen.
What's the next? Oh, okay. No, I would not. I would not consider hanging it up. I like I talked about earlier. I touched on it briefly. I love my job. I thoroughly enjoy it. And also, there's pros and cons with the job. I'd say the cons of the job, or what we just talked about, is consistency. I cannot be as consistent as I'd like to be. So growth for me is difficult, but that's okay. I'm more than happy with my small community I have, the people who do watch me. And I appreciate the support, all of it, whether it's just watching or financially, so help supporting me. I'm very appreciative of it, and I try, like I said, I try and take the money and put it back into things that are stream related when I can. And the width of the biggest pair of pants I've owned. Oh well, I did have a 4-year collegiate career of football. So I used to be bigger. I used to weigh about 315 pounds, probably pushing 320. I was an offensive lineman. I played I played in all through high school, and I played collegiately in college. And so yeah, I was huge. And I think I wore
okay, 6'4", 320. Like that guy will tear you apart. Like
that was big.
Did you feel okay? Let me ask you this, because I don't feel like we ever get to talk to like those linebackers and stuff. Like how did you feel physically, just inside?
Terrible.
Like did you feel good, or was it like almost exhausting carrying around so much weight?
No, dude, and that's like the biggest thing when I got done playing football and I lost weight was it just. Like when I was that big, I would just be sweating walking everywhere. I walk upstairs, I'm sweating. The only thing I miss is being the strength.
Yeah,
I was so much stronger. Like I could throw 405 on and rep it on the bench. Like I was just way stronger, dude. Like I could squat well over 500 pounds. I was that's what I miss. I missed the strength, and it was fun because like we put crazy weight on there and just see how much we can do, and it was just a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, my body's paid for it. I tore my ACL once. I had reconstructive surgery on my ACL, and then I had a couple of bad lower back injuries, and shoulders are fucked up. It definitely put a toll on me.
Yeah.
I earned the scholarship, and I think that all athletes who went through college and played can there's certain people who think that you shouldn't get a scholarship, but it's a job. I can guarantee you it is a fucking job, day in and day out, between meetings, working out, eating when you're supposed to eat, practice, games, preparation, film, all that. It's a full-time job. Like playing sports in high school was fun. Playing in college, by the end of it, I was ready to be done. I was burnt out. I was ready to be done. I knew I wasn't good enough to play professionally. I was just happy I got a college degree out of it for free.
So how much do you weigh now?
Right now, I weigh. Last time I weighed, I was 237. We turned 37 pounds.
Yeah, that's an immense difference.
I took a small child off of me, basically.
80 pounds just gone. Like
yes, it is. It has been quite freeing. Like I said, yeah, I don't miss feeling that way. And I was eating probably, I don't know, anywhere from 7 to like 12K calories a day. Like I was eating insane amounts of food.
You like food though, right?
Hopefully. I love food.
Okay.
Oh yes,
that's a good thing. So that was like the nice part.
Yeah. But it was so much to where I wasn't enjoying. Like sometimes I was forcing myself to eat. I feel because like keeping that weight on was hard. And as an offensive lineman, you want to have that just dead weight. It's just good for the position.
Yep.
But I won't get in. I won't get too much into football. But I believe my pant size. I think I wore a 44. I think.
Jeez.
It was a 40. It was a 42 or a 44. I think it was a 44. 44, I believe.
That's crazy.
Is what I wore.
Let me, if you don't mind answering, do you have a goal weight right now? Because like you work out pretty consistently.
I'm pretty happy with what I got. I'm really just into maintaining. This summer I'll probably do a cut where I will probably try and cut 10 or 15 pounds. In the summer I like to call it thick boy summer. I do a little cut. I do like a 2 or 3 month cut and see how like lean I can get. Get a nice tan, go to the beach, look okay, and then throw the hoodie back on and gain the weight back.
Yeah. The winter
that's
time
usually
gains.
Winter time. I usually lift more heavy, do a lot more static stuff, and then in the summer I like to run. I like to take the t-shirt off and just run around the neighborhood. I enjoy cardio and a lot more like active movement type stuff in the summer.
That's very cool.
Yeah, probably 44 or 46. And the thoughts on taste of lobster from the north versus your red lobster from the south. The lobster in the north is immensely better. It's not even close. It's not a comparison. Like seafood down here is just shit. I mean, it is. I've only had lobster in the north once, and it's when I went to the meetup that Kajino hosted, which was in the Boston area. and I had a lobster roll like right off the beach, just been like caught that day, and it was life changing.
Wow.
I literally sucked that thing down in like 2 minutes. It was just gone. It was so good. It was like nothing I've ever had. It was amazing.
Dude, there really is something special about getting like the best
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
quality of anything.
Mhm.
I remember the first time I had a real amazing peach. I'm not talking about those store-bought shits that are just rock hard. I'm talking a real a peach that came from a tree, and it was the size of my head. I was like 10 years old.
Do you know the origin? Was it South Carolina or Georgia?
No, it was
Because those are the best peaches.
It was Oregon.
Oregon.
I don't even understand. Okay, so there are probably even better peaches out there, but I remember eating this peach, and it was just fuzzy, like extremely peach fuzzy.
Very soft. Not like mushy, but like a nice consistency.
Yeah, no, and I took a bite, and it was the best consistency of all time, and it just splashed on me. Like, it was everywhere on my face as soon as I bit in, and it was just dripping everywhere, and it was the most amazing tasting peach I had ever
Somebody
had.
takes that clip you just said right there and puts it with something else.
I think actually I've talked about this on my stream, and it was clipped out of context.
No, it's definitely different. I have the privilege of being down here in the South, and there's a lot of Amish communities and Mennonite communities that like it's like homegrown produce. And working in greenhouses and at the greenhouses I worked in, they sold the produce there, so I had the privilege of eating it. And it's different. It's a whole different ballgame. It's so much better than the shit you get at fucking Kroger, or any other
Fired,
grocery
man.
store.
You're gonna get fired.
But yeah, it's different. It's like you said. It's just it's like not a huge difference, but it's enough to where it just makes it so much better.
Yeah,
Just like the lobster.
somebody had told me they went to like Hawaii or some island and they hated pineapple. Like they just for their whole life they had hated pineapple. And then they went to this island, had a fresh pineapple, and they were like, this is my favorite fruit of all. This is my favorite food of all time because they had it fresh.
Dude. I love pineapple. Pineapple's amazing.
Yeah. So to completely change your mindset because of having an absolutely fresh picked fruit is insane. Like that's how much better it tastes.
Oh yeah.
What's your next pet?
Okay, so I'm currently locked in the red prison. I've been doing a lot of CG gauntlet. It's been rewarding, but yet so frustrating because you just have those days where the preps are shit, and you can't do like when Hunliv gets to the last phase, you just can't fucking hit it. Just keep hitting zeros, and you're just getting slapped for 15 after 15, and you just fucking die, and you misclick one time, and the tornadoes hit you, and you're just dead. So it's tough. And then of course, I'm sure you're well aware, and most people are, of the server issues of late, and that has not helped either. Like the other day, I was standing there, I had plenty of food. Last phase, easy KC, walking home. I'm standing there. The boss just stops moving, and I'm like, "What?" And then I just says 57 over my head, and I'm dead.
Jesus.
It's and like stuff like that is so tilting too. Yeah. It's even like I would much rather just kill myself on my own in the game, but it's fucking
in game.
Yeah, in game, of course. But yeah, I would like if I ever finish it, if I ever get the pet, which that's a tough one. This is 1 out of 800, I believe, is the rate. Yeah. I'm like closing in on 200, and then I've also been doing Sriracha as well, one of your favorite bosses.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's kind of my warm up. I've been liking. I start the stream with the Sriracha for an hour or so. Do like 50 to 100 KC, and then move on to the gauntlet. But cool. I would like to do KQ. That would be an interesting one. Very, very brutal balls too. Like, not too much going on there. You're just gonna get the shit slapped out of you and hope that you hit high and she doesn't hit high. That's interesting balls. But I think so. I'm not doing Dusk. I cannot do the Gargalon balls. I cannot. Even after the update, it really is it's actual pain. I'm very glad that Tasty got his recently. I think he did upwards of 7,000, or 8,000. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
terrible.
That. I got so dude, I even have a bad feeling about Grotesque Guardians. Like when I think of that place, I just don't want to go there. And I even have the jar and the pet and the core. Like, and I got it all before.
Reason to go.
I got it all before 5. I know, but like, well, first of all, like none of it's in my log except for the core and the pet. So I have to get everything else in the log. The jar is going to be so ass. One day I'm going to have to go back to that. But all I'm saying is even getting lucky there, still, I just hate that boss. It's just something.
Yeah, it's tough.
The
I'm glad they at
environment
least
is just
updated it and made
depressing.
it a little less painful, but phew, it's tough go for sure.
Yeah. All right. Nick or QNeeks asks, thoughts on the HLC? What's been your favorite skill to do live during your maxing push? What skill do you look forward to next? Will you hold my hand at Theater of Blood live sometime, please? With the little emoji. Is the earth flat? And any tips for a new streamer who just started?
First off, fuck the HLC.
I love it. I was gonna ask if you had that available, like, or if it was just for your stream. That was awesome. Why didn't you introduce yourself that way? You should have fucking done that.
I should have went. I thought about it. I've had a couple drinks. I'm caffeinated, so I let off of it though. Don't want to be too much.
That's awesome.
No, I think there's just such a wide variety of people that are involved in the quote unquote HLC that I don't know. I think there's positive and negative. I think there's a big balance of both, you know. I think at the end of the day, once you put enough hours into this game, I don't think you're ever going to get that. I'm sure maybe you understand what I'm saying, but that nostalgic, like, where you're like just so deeply lost in the game, you're enjoying it a ton, if that makes sense. I don't think any of us, I think we're all kind of trying to chase that to an extent.
Yeah.
And I just don't think any of us are going to, without how many hours we've put in, I don't think any of us are going to get that again. But I think we can get close with the right updates. We'll see. I know a lot of the HLC there's a lot of riding on the Rage 3. I mean, from what I see, from what I hear people talking about, that is going to be quite the update. So I really hope that it's successful. I'm very excited about it. So we shall see. But I think there's a lot of good and bad in that community.
Let me state real quick about Raids 3. Apparently, because of the whole inventory fuckiness that's been happening this past week, a cold one apparently said that he thinks the reason that why the inventory is weird is because they're planning for a mechanic for Raids 3 that's going to shuffle your inventory when you make mistakes.
Oh, boy.
Can you imagine how insanely annoying and punishing that is to have your full inventory scrambled when you, like, miss a prayer or something?
Well, you get what you asked for.
Like, that's going to be a thing. That makes a lot of sense.
I think the HLC, I think majority of people want the new raids to be punishing and brutal and difficult, similar to the mechanics of ToB, is kind of the consensus of what I see. So we shall see. I look forward to it. I hope it goes. I really hope it goes well, and it gets people, especially people in that community, back enjoying the game and at least satisfied until the content becomes stagnant again.
I'm also pumped that it is soloable. Like we already know off the bat, so that's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Well, I see this like it's a cycle of like RuneScape itself, where the game's dying, update, everything's good, the game's dying, update, everything's good. And so I think for the most part, Jagex does a pretty good job with bringing people back. So
they do.
I have faith. So we'll see. I'm gonna stay positive.
Favorite skill to do live during your maxing push?
Ooh.
And what skill next?
I'm just kidding. Honestly, I look forward to the rune crafting with the new pouch and the new where there's no delay, where you can just chuck them in there. Yeah. I love it. I'm not too mad at it. I was enjoying doing ZMI. That's fucking wild for me to say. I never thought I'd say that, honestly.
It's nice.
It's nice. I like the update. I think it's great. The skill I least look forward to now is probably agility. I've been mining. Everybody talks about how bad mining is, but I really don't mind the motherload mine too much. I just AFK that at work in my free time. It's an easy one, in my opinion. Obviously, it takes kind of long, but I would say that I've done live, though, that I've enjoyed the most. I enjoyed the thieving stream, actually. I did 24 hours of Artie Nights. My hand paid dearly for it, but for whatever reason, that was one of my favorite. I think it was because I had a lot of people come into voice call. Like during those streams, I'll have people just come into voice call and talk to me, streamers, and it kind of is like a miniature podcast. I know one person who always typically comes in the voice chat. It's usually during like you've done 24-hour stream, right?
Yeah, but last time was like a year ago.
Well, do you remember like the worst part of the stream is typically from like that like 2 to like 6 a.m. like that real like demon time kind of slot where not too many people are saying anything, and typically that's when I bring like a streamer or something into the Discord call me just to like keep me sane, and that's it's been a really good move. I've had some really hilarious like clips. Like I even had Behemoth in there one time talking to me, and his wife walked in. She was like, "What are you doing? Who are you talking to?" And it was fucking it was hilarious. I mean, there's been some good ones, but typically I have T-Papa will come in there. He likes coming in there and talking, and then I've had Fat Clouds come in there a few times, which was really fun. So
hell yeah,
I enjoy it for whatever reason. I think back to that one and I enjoyed that. And yes, I will definitely take Nick to the Theater of Blood as soon as he gets his own time under 55 minutes.
And you can hold his hand without sweating all over his hand.
That is true. I can't hold your hand. That is true. Is the Earth flat? No, it is not. I think most people will agree with that, but if you don't, that's okay. Any tips for a new streamer who just started? That's a good question. I think everybody has a lot of different answers for that. Mine is stay consistent. That's the main. All my best weeks, months, numbers streaming have been during the periods of time where I was most consistent and most locked into a certain grind or whatever it may be. So I would say that consistency is definitely the primary tip. And you got to stay consistent even when you're in I call it viewer hell. For example, there was a time I was in Discord call, a couple of streamers were talking, and it was like, I think it was like 5 a.m. My time. And I went and scrolled through the section, just looking around at different streams. I don't do it too often, but I was bored and I went and scrolled through, and I think I counted, I believe, upwards of 40 streamers with less than 10 viewers. It was like over 40. And this is at like 5 in the morning. This is not during like a peak time where people are live. This is like kind of a weird time. And like, that gave me a lot of perspective. I was like, wow, like you really, we're lucky that people watch us.
Yeah.
Like it's, there's a lot of, and I'm sure, and I guarantee you, some of the people down there are super talented and entertaining. They just need to get some traction, something, whatever it may be. Somebody who we found, who we love, who we think is hilarious. We got to shape him up with some of the TOS things he says, but it's Mr. Destructo. Shout out to Destructo. I'm sure maybe, I don't know if anybody shouted him out, but shout out
T-Papa has a lot of nice things to say about Mr. Destructo. I still haven't caught his stream, unfortunately. That's
an experience, man. It's quite an experience. We talked about it. If he would have been streaming 4 or 5 years ago, he'd be the next XQC.
Damn. No, there really is something special. Like even last night, I was just browsing the old school section. I'd followed a few people that I'd just never seen that were like in, again, the 1 to 10 viewer category. And it just throws me back to that time when I was there, and it just felt like there was no way out. It's almost like pushing past the 10 viewer threshold was just an impossible feat.
That's how I felt. It's like I said, I call it viewer hell. I remember and people don't know, I streamed the Vorkath content for about 3 months, and the only people I had, I think I averaged probably 3 or 4 viewers for that entire 3-month period, probably 3 or 4. I was live like almost every day, 3 to 5 hour streams a day, just killing Vorkath. Usually was just a couple clanmates in there. Every now and then somebody would come in and talk to me. I really enjoyed it though. Even that interaction with like a person or two, like I tried to make it as lasting and as meaningful as I could. Yeah. And I slowly started building, and then I quit for like a month. I remember I was getting close to, like you said, the 10 viewer threshold, and then I like quit for a month, and I came back the next year, the starting year of 2019, and I was way more consistent, and then I slowly built up, and then I got the pet at 10,000 KC, the Warcath pet. Then I got into Zora, and like I was getting to the point where I was building a pretty good stream. I think I was averaging 40-ish viewers or so, maybe 50. And then I changed my occupation to Kroger, and I had to do some extensive training for that. And I was gone for about, I think, 6 months, a little over 6 months.
Is it really 6 months? Feels like 2 months, but
yeah, it was about 6 months. And I remember I'd pop into your stream and other people's streams and say hi, and then like, because I originally planned to not come back, and like I just missed it so much, the interaction and like the community I had built. I missed it so much that I was like, I gotta come back. I gotta find a way. And with my schedule now, I've found a way to where I can't stream as much as I'd probably like to, but I'm still live anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week. 5 is very rare, but at the least 3 or 4. And of course, I've been doing these long streams too, which help. But
and for those wondering, there will be a Twitch link down in the description, so be sure to follow Prison Joe. Do it for me. Give him a follow, and his Twitch and his Twitter. I mean,
I would appreciate it. And if you come by, just say that Sater sent you, and I will give you a kiss. It was 6 months. It was a long time, and like I remember, I was like, okay, I had my schedule in order to where I was like, okay, well, I can at least stream on the weekends. I can stream a couple of days. Might as well. I miss it so much. And everybody, I had a lot. And like one of the toughest things was after I quit, even though I didn't have like some massive community, I got so many messages. I got some messages about people who were really dealing with some real shit, like who told me that my stream helped them. And I was, that was big for me wanting to come back. I was, I had no clue, you don't know that.
Yep.
And then after I quit and when I see stuff like that, like it was tough. It was emotional. And I decided I was going to come back. And that's a funny thing. Like a lot of people thought I was brand new to streaming. And I just like kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, no, I streamed before, I promise.
Yeah.
But it was the most like redeeming thing was when I came back, all the people who watched me before were all there. I remember the first stream back, like it was a crazy stream. It was awesome. My audio was all fucked up. I had all these new overlays. I've been slowly working on stream related stuff while I wasn't streaming to improve my stream. And it was awesome. And I went from there, and the Zora pushed us to I got partnered. I think in like early 2021. And I thought I was going to have to do the Inferno milking meta, but I did not have to do that. I think I did like 1 or 2 Inferno streams, and my second time going for it, I got it. I didn't have to do the Qnix leave a tab meta. So we got it pretty quickly. But yeah, man. So
all right.
That'd be my main tip though. Be consistent.
Okay, Friend Zones asks, how was Gears of War? I already know where this is going because T-Papa mentioned that, but is it hard maintaining the level of handsome that you have, and is Kroger treating you well?
First off, Gears of War, he's talking about a 2-star Michelin restaurant that we spent way too much money at in Las Vegas.
How much was it? I'm curious because I really want to go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant in my life at some point. I think that'd be amazing.
Well, I will tell you, after getting a wine pairing and ordering the cheese cart and the extra dessert cart, it was $800 per person.
What? Yeah. $800 per person.
I will be transparent with you. It was more expensive than advertised by the person whose idea.
Bruh. Okay.
What?
Dude, I was asking about this shit on my stream like 6 months ago, and I said, how much does it cost to go to you're saying a 2-star. I was saying, how much does it cost to go to a 3-star? And in my mind, I was thinking like $2K or something. That's just the number I had in mind. And then people were like, oh no, it's only like $300 or $400.
Well, here's the thing, like the bare menu, if you just go through the full like menu they serve you, where they keep bringing you out different, and by the end of it, you are stuffed to the brim full, and it's like a 4-hour dinner. They like explain, it's a whole experience. It's more than just it's an experience. Yeah. It's now, was it worth $800? I mean, that's objective. It was quite an experience, and that is why you budget money for vacations. That's all I say about that. But it was amazing, and I will go back in my lifetime, hopefully.
Did you get truffles?
Yes, there was all kinds of truffle stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing I always think.
It was amazing. As far as being handsome, everybody tells me I'm handsome, whatever. I think all of you are handsome. I love all of you. And what was the last part there?
Is Kroger treating you well?
Kroger is treating me well, yes. It's a steady, good job. Am I going to be a millionaire? No. But am I going to be able to eat at Gears of War every now and then? Sure.
All right. T-Papa asks, as someone who is currently maxing an OSRS account, why? He also asks, if you were stranded on an island and you could only have one thing, what would it be? And when you were standing in the pool and I threw my phone at you, why didn't you catch it?
Well, first part there, I don't know. It just became a goal of mine. I thought about it, and I was like, I think that maxing would be like a good arc, kind of like in the background for my Twitch and for my account. So I just started it. Just something I wanted to do, and I'm glad I decided to do it. Stranded on an island, and you can only have one thing. What would it be? Ooh. A knife. And then when you were when I was staying in the pool, okay, so I was in Arizona and I was staying in the pool. I was live on Twitch, actually, I believe. I was maybe slightly intoxicated in the pool, just streaming and just chatting, just fucking around. And T-Papa just randomly said, oh my, and just, I don't know what he said. He's like, oh my gosh, and just threw his phone at me. And like, I had the thing in my hand and I just was like, I was impaired. I watched the phone just fly from his hand into the pool and it just sunk.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, oh fuck. And then I looked at him. He looked at me and he was like, yeah, oh, it's waterproof. I was just fucking with you. And I said, oh, okay. So I went to grab it with my foot and I kicked the phone into the deep end.
Oh, God. Isn't that when a cold one jumped in?
Yes, and then a cold one went full fucking lifeguard. I'm talking like it was a perfect, pristine dive. Just straight down, one dive, scooped it up and got it. I mean, he's too good. He's honestly just too good at everything. I'm actually going to be seeing him very soon, too. He's coming to Nashville next month, and we're going to hang out. I'm very excited to see him.
What a legend.
But yeah,
That's
he
cool.
really is. It was very humbling to meet him. He is quite the legend. And his knowledge of this game is just, it's beyond me.
Yep.
Some of the things he's explained to me is just, I'm just like, what? He's a legend.
Yeah, his noggin is huge. All right. Krylax asks, what is a personal golden rule of yours or a mantra you live by if you have one? He also asks, what was the hardest 24-hour stream you've done so far? When will you run diagonals on the maze in ToB? You have a 2-night, $100,000 vacation anywhere in the world. Where are you going? Not Vegas.
Definitely not going to go to Vegas with 100,000 because it'll be gone by the time I leave. But what is a personal? The mantra is staying wide at all times, and by that I mean just it's a reclined mindset. Just saying what you want to say, doing what you want to do. Just living life freely, not feeling stressed, just relaxing and letting it all out, and just going through life, hitting the grind, just grinding through life. Okay, it's really. That's a main, like staying wide. I talk about it all the time, being wide. It really is just a lax mindset of it's just kind of a way to get through the gambit that is life. I would say. So
amen.
And as far as the hardest 24-hour stream was definitely the fire making stream. I did wintertime 24 hours.
Oh God.
Also known as the Walmart of RuneScape.
That's pretty accurate. I've never actually heard that. It's pretty accurate.
It is. There's some interesting people to watch there. Definitely. You got to keep the public chat closed there if you're live. That is for sure. Definitely some game awards be thrown around in there. It's that was tough because towards the end I had this awful migraine. I had like 5 hours left. I looked miserable. I looked looked awful. I looked like shit. I had a migraine. I was struggling. And then I remember I didn't have enough XP to get the 99. So I went to the bank and started doing redwood logs, burning them.
Oh God.
And like, I'm just completely fucking fried. I'm like falling asleep halfway. My head is pounding.
That's so miserable.
I was in pure agony. And like people in the chat were genuinely concerned about me. And like people were coming in trying to backseat me, like how I was doing the logs. I just one tick banned off.
Oh God.
You should try doing it. I just banned. I didn't read it. I didn't even look at it. I just any backseat about the fucking fire making. I just banned them. That was definitely I wasn't a high tilt, but I took some Tylenol when I started feeling it, and by the end of it, I came out of it and I kind of turned it around. But there was like a 2 or 3 hour period where I was absolutely miserable towards the end.
Yeah, for the times I've done 24 hours, it's always like 19 to 22 hours is absolute agony.
Yep.
Actually, probably up to 23. The last hour's fine always.
Oh, the last hour is great. Even the last 2 hours, when you hit 6 hours left, that 4 hour period there, getting to 2 hours left is definitely the worst. And that's when that happened, I think. It was like 3 hours of that, I was just miserable. But
So bad.
yeah, we got through it though. We got the 99. And I did not get the Phoenix pet, of course.
All right. When will you run diagonals on the maze in ToB? Do you not run diagonals? What the fuck?
No, I'm actually the world record non-diagonal runner.
Damn.
I hold the record for that, so I will never run diagonals at the maze in ToB.
Yeah, it's just damn.
Maybe I already know how to do it. Maybe I don't, just to upset people. I don't know. We'll see in the future. Possibly, maybe one day. 2-night vacation, $100,000 anywhere in the world. If I have to spend $100,000 on the vacation, I mean, that's tough, you know. Because if you just gave me $100,000, I'd spend like a little bit of it and just take the rest for myself. You know what I would do? If they have RuneFest, I would go to RuneFest and I would buy some insane like place outside of the convention center, like huge place, just I guess just rent it out or whatever, and just have everybody there so we could all just have a good time.
Oh, that'd be sick.
After the convention. That would be awesome, actually.
But you have to require deodorant.
Of course, yes. Yeah, I know that.
Dude,
yeah,
I'm sorry. This meme that I always think of is just the funniest thing of all time. I saw it on Reddit like 4 years ago or something. It was just, you know, that meme of the kind of bigger guy that's probably like, I don't know, 20 years old or something. He's wearing sunglasses and he's holding open a door. He's like a bouncer, basically. And he like gives access to people. So there's like two shots of him opening the door, and then there's one like shaking his head, like, no, you can't enter. And so it will show, like, I think the title of the post was like, people at RuneFest or something like that. I'm going to butcher this because it's been so long, but it was something about they only let you in if you didn't bring deodorant or something like that. Like, that is RuneFest. Like, you were obligated to not wear deodorant. Apparently it smells awful.
I don't know what Alfie smells like, but you know, we're gonna have to disinfect him before he comes in, that is for sure.
Alfie probably smells great, but really, I think Alfie would smell okay. Maybe not during his max and grind of group Ironman. He probably, you know, was skipping some showers there. But I don't know. I see Alfie and he has the bags over his eyes, but I think he's a pretty cleanly guy. And he lives with Bastilla, so like, come on, she
probably keeps him clean. She probably keeps him clean. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, that would be cool. Like, I have just this massive place. We get
that would be dope.
Bottle service. We get catered food, just like really nice. Yeah, but that would be good.
All right. Buster Cervix. We've already covered a lot of this. I think the only unique question is, when is the mouse pad giveaway coming back?
Okay, so I have like a wheel spin redemption that has like a variety of things on it. It costs a lot of channel points. It landed on create a tweet. Like, you can make a tweet for me within the terms of service, of course. And the tweet they made me tweet out was this mouse pad, and it was the Nintendo character Waluigi, and he's just like thick as shit, like double caked up, big old fat ass. Like, he's looking back at you, and it's on a mouse pad. And like they made me tweet it out in like a giveaway for him. And like I let it sit there for like a day and a half or so, and I deleted it because it just wasn't doing well. It like had some format on it where you had to take a picture of you touching like actual grass to enter yourself and your favorite streamer. I don't know, but
Jesus Christ.
What actually would happen with that is I gave it away to Twitch user Sock. So if you'd like to see that, you can get with him. You can also talk to my lawyer, Spency Dog. But anyway, we'll move on to the next question.
All right. Megan asks, I don't remember if we've talked on this. She asks, favorite moment caught on stream. Did we already talk about this? I feel like we did, but maybe we didn't. Maybe it was the worst moment
caught on stream. Yeah. My favorite memory, either one of those, favorite moment / memory, because I know there's probably a question about that, is definitely the Inferno and the 1KC pet. Nothing's going to top that. The serotonin, the feeling, the emotion of that, getting the cape, my first cape, first off, and then I get a 1KC pet, absolutely spoon-fed to me. I mean, nothing's gonna beat that, man. That was like God, I will never forget that. That was so cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely that. That's an easy one.
All right. Whale says, now start barking.
I will not bark for Whale, but I do love Whale, and I highly recommend you watch his live stream.
Whale's a fucking legend. I'm planning on getting Whale and Uncle on.
I heard that.
For a 3-way Sae Bae cast. I have no idea. Uncle is insisting that we're all baked as shit. And,
of course, yes, of course.
It's gonna be an interesting one. That'll
be good. He said,
too.
I remember he mentioned it to me. He said he was gonna do that, and he was just gonna throw random people on it like every hours.
Yeah, he started I was like, bro, this is my podcast, but that sounds like a cool idea. But Jesus Christ, I don't want to I want to be able to premiere this. If we're just putting on random people and they say whatever they want, Jesus Christ, this might go downhill. All right, Doll Blush asks, favorite childhood memory of OSRS if you used to play as a kid.
I did play as a kid. I started playing, I was in elementary school. I was probably 9 or 10 years old. And that's funny. That's me playing a kid and throughout childhood is one of the reasons I didn't start old school until later. Because honestly, I put more time into the original game, RuneScape, RS3, or some people like to call it garbage, whatever you want to call it. That is, I definitely put more time into it. And then like most people, when the EOC update came, I didn't quit immediately. I played it for a while, and all my friends were quitting. I just wasn't enjoying it, and then I gave the account and all the gear to my friend, which was I should have sold that shit. But I just gave it to my friend. So shout out to him. I don't know if he still has the account. I'm not friends with him anymore.
He sold it a day later.
He
was
probably
like, you dumbass, you could have sold it.
He probably did sell it, but. My favorite memory, the most nostalgic, is I remember being a kid, and I clearly remember, I had my account was it was a mess. I didn't know what I was doing, but I know I wanted to be a wizard. That was I wanted to be a mage, and I remember what I would do is I remember I found the robes, I bought the staffs, and what I would do is I would kill barbarians. I would just whack them with my staff for money, and then I would go to Karamja and I would fish lobsters.
Yep.
And I would go to the shop and sell them, and I get 8K, and I was like, I'm fucking rich, and I buy chaos runes, and then I would just go kill monsters with the what is that level? The first level of spell, not the first level, the second level of combat spell.
Bolts.
The bolts, yes. I would use the bolts and just kill various until I ran out, and then I go back and do the same thing to make money.
Dude, the game was just so magical back then.
It was. That was the funnest time I've ever had playing. I was so into it.
Yeah. Dude, it's a shame in a way to think we can never experience that true magic.
That's what I'm saying.
Again.
We're chasing that. In a sense, we're chasing it slowly.
You know what's okay, and not to go super deep all of a sudden, but you know what's really beautiful about life is that life isn't solved. You know what I mean? This game is somewhat solved, but then you take a look at life and you might think, oh, a lot of life's already been solved, but man, there are so many mysteries still
100%.
out there with 8 billion people, and still there's just an incredible amount of mystery to just being on Earth, and it's wow, that's deep. I don't know.
You think about your perspective too, you always think you kind of got things figured out, but then you 2 or 3 years progresses and you look back at yourself and you're like, God, I was a fucking idiot then. I didn't know anything.
Yep.
And then another few years goes by and you're like, God, I was stupid then. I know what I'm doing now. You're always there. You can always improve. You can always be better, and you can always learn, and you can always listen. Yeah. And those things, I do know those things. And I'm sure I have plenty to learn, plenty to experience, but you're definitely correct about that. There's no concrete plan for life.
Yeah.
Just got to get through it.
All right. Mick Homie. Oh God. Speaking of okay, so Mick Dilk was his original name, and so I think what happened is, first of all, he's been pulling more viewers, and I think it's just getting a little bit more attention. And what I assume, I have no fucking idea.
As he should.
Yeah, I haven't looked at this at all, but it seems as though because of his numbers, it was more kind of relevant, and so some Twitch staff probably saw the name and they're like, "Oh, this probably isn't good to be promoting."
It was definitely Bot Bobby.
What?
I don't know if you know him.
No. Oh, was he the one?
He's a Twitch staff guy who hangs out on a lot of streams. I
Okay.
thought you would have known him.
Something happened. I have no idea what actually happened, but he got his name removed from Mick Dilk, and he had to change it immediately. So he changed it to Mick Homie. So now he's known by Mick Homie. And you know what? I was gonna do something really like messed up. I was gonna name myself. When I got my name changed from Sae Bae to Sater, I was gonna name it like Sater Homie or something like that. Just something with Homie, just like for the disrespect, you know. No, I wouldn't have actually done that. But like real talk, it was really funny. But who mentioned it? Something like you should have changed your name to Sater Homie or something. Just like the worst. Imagine everything you're known as somebody. Imagine Prison Joe all of a sudden Twitch.
I thought Twitch would eventually make me change it just because having prison is derogatory or something. I don't know.
It's like, imagine everything you've been called is just taken from you, just stripped from you. Your name was Mick Dilk for years, and then all of a sudden, nope, you're Mick Homie.
I don't understand. Those are two, they're not even words. Like, yeah, they're together, but like,
yeah.
I think Twitch is horny. They're assuming that he's talking about dick milk, you know? Like,
oh, I never even made that connection. Jesus.
Yeah, Twitch is horny. The staff they're self-aware of dick milk. So that's all that tells me, really.
No, it is sad, and I wish Mick you know what? We were all in his stream. We were offering him different name changes. I was like, dude, you should name yourself Mick Milk, but not Mick like M-I-C-K, but MC Milk. But I think that might already be taken. Who knows?
A McDonald's might be coming if he does that. That's all I'm saying. Watch out.
And the milkman's gonna fucking come after you for naming yourself Milk.
I like the new name. It's appropriate. He deserves a lot more respect as well. He's a very community-oriented guy. He proposes a lot of community-type stuff. I know he held the crab game thing with the streamers, and now he reached out to me recently. He's trying to do something with Gary's mod, and he's a great guy. And
he's a
I like what he stands for, and he definitely deserves more.
All right. He asks, who is in your dream OSRS? Wait, who is in your dream? Okay, here we go. Who is in your dream OSRS streamer boxing match lineup?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
And before you answer, for people not familiar, what is it to be wide? And we're having a barbecue at your crib. What are you throwing on the grill for us?
I'll answer the barbecue first. You're definitely getting burgers, dogs, brats, and there's going to be pulled pork as well. I can guarantee you all those things, and all the fixings as well.
Hell yeah,
definitely for the barbecue. And as far as being wide, I think I touched on it earlier. Yeah. It's really just a freedom, really. Freedom to be you and freedom to do what you want to do. Essentially, is how I categorize that.
All right.
And the boxing lineup, that's a tough one. I've been joking and memeing with Dwight. Dwight says he's going to box. I'm sure you're familiar with Dwight, LOL, right?
Yep. I've had him on the Sae Bae cast.
I know. I listened to part of that one. That is I was surprised you had him on. It
was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most interesting communities in the section.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was joking about boxing me. I know he won't, but it was he's funny. But I don't know. That's a tough one. There's some good matchups you could have there for sure. I definitely want to have Fat Clouds on the card. He's got to fight somebody for sure.
Fat Clouds versus Alkin.
Yeah, that was exactly that's the heavyweight bout. And I'm sorry, Alkin, you're getting fucking slept. I mean, it's not even gonna be close, but
real talk, Alkin is massive and he works out too. So like that
he does work out? Oh
yeah,
man.
Like real talk, Alkin, I think, you know what? I think Alkin, or maybe you, I think you actually might be able to take okay, well, let me think. I'm trying to think of every person. Like, I know this is inappropriate to talk about, like, of imaginary scenarios where somebody beats the living hell out of somebody else. It's imaginary and it's
boxing. Hey, it's boxing. It's boxing.
Yeah. I have to say in game as well. It's boxing in game, right? No, but real talk. I think you or potentially Alkin. I think Tasty's pretty strong too, but he's more like a pretty boy, you know, so I don't think he would get like down and dirty. I feel like you.
No, he's never been in a fight in his life.
Yeah, I feel like you. I feel like you though. You are the person that could take down anyone because you have experience with training.
Oh yeah, I've fought grown man covered in shit. So.
Oh god. Fuck that.
I've been in quite a few scenarios where where it had to be a fight, unfortunately. But yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, I don't think Tasty's ever been in a fight. He owns a $5,000 espresso machine. That's literally all you need to know about him.
All right. You know what? This is the boxing match. Tasty versus Prison Joe. I'm not even gonna lie. Even if it was just like this total exhibition fake boxing match, you guys could literally pull that off. Make the greatest thing. Just market it perfectly, and you guys are both geared up with boxing gloves, and you just do like a fake boxing match.
We could, but what we end up doing is we just end up doing a hot tub stream and kissing.
For that should be the aftermath. You gotta have best of both worlds.
Yeah, I know Tbow. You can talk. He's a. He's got a background. He runs a 10-minute mile though. That's kind of sus.
I was considering Tbow, but then I'm like, okay, you're 237. I don't think Tbow's even close. In fact, even on the podcast I had him on, he was talking about how he doesn't quite work out the same, and he's actually been losing weight. So
I'm sure it's he's about to do the dad live, so he's got to get the dad bod going.
Yep.
He's got to recede into the dad bod. Yeah. But there's a lot of people. I would need time to get a show, but definitely Fatty C versus Alkin. That'd be sick. That'd be the skilling heavyweight bout for sure. Then definitely Q-Neeks. Q-Neeks has to fight somebody as well.
Q-Neeks and Ignoble Solid should fight.
That would be good.
That would be good. Who do you think would win?
Good.
Real
talk.
We
have to have a female battle. Who would win Ignoble? Just because he's just bigger. I know it's hard. I mean, there are weight divisions for a reason. Now, it doesn't mean everything, right? But they have weight classes for a reason. There'd have to be a female bout though too.
I want to see Hanner versus Zoe Pancakes.
That would be a slug. I feel like that would be a slugfest. I feel like they would hit it out, especially if Hanner gets beefed up.
Yeah,
that'd be quite a fight. I would definitely like to watch that. Only for sport purposes only, nothing else.
Of course. All right, Flomple asks, if you could do a 4-man ToB with any celebrities, alive or dead, who would they be?
Holy, that's a good question. I'll be topping with Flomple soon, hopefully. He's only asked me 8,000 times.
Dude, Flomple is one of the most persistent. You know what? Flomple and Cherry. Okay, listen. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Cherry is the most persistent and one of the actually funniest people I think I've ever... Okay, so I just popped in yesterday into Cherry's stream just because I was trying to flex my new name and stuff in everybody's chat. I popped in there. I'm not going to lie. Cherry is so upfront with stuff, and it is so fucking funny the way he does it. It's so funny.
It's good. It's good to be that way.
He's so honest about everything.
I will say that.
Oh, my God. Anyway, yeah, we're getting... I don't know. All I'm saying is there will be an iCherry Sae Bae cast coming up shortly because of the fucking persistence. Flomple did the same bullshit. Kept asking, he's like, I want to be on the Sae Bae cast. I want to be on the Sae Bae cast. And it's like eventually to the point where it's like, fine.
I would have never have thought that. That's crazy.
No, but real talk. I love Flomple and I love Cherry to death, and they deserve to be on the cast. So,
shout out, no free shout outs. What was the question again?
The celebrities. 3 other celebrities that would join your team.
Ooh. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I definitely want to have. I'm a big football fan.
Yeah.
So, I definitely would have the Titans running back. His name is Derrick Henry. I want him on there just because I'm a huge fanboy. A lot of people who watch me know I'm a huge Tennessee Titans fan / football fan. I definitely gotta have some celebrities on there too, though. Did he say dead or alive?
Yep.
Ooh. Shit. We could throw, well, we don't know if he's dead or alive, I guess, but we'll throw Tupac on the team as well. 100%. And, gosh, who's a good wild card? It's tough. You know what? Shout out. Johnny Depp. Sorry. We'll have Johnny Depp as the, we'll have him as the,
he'll be DPS. DPS.
He'll definitely be DPS.
Dude, if I were to choose, Scarlett Johansson's definitely on the team. We're getting Scarlett.
Why is that? Why is she on the team?
No reason. Just be on the team. And then who else? I don't know. Well, I don't know who else. Doesn't really matter as long as Scarlett Johansson's on the team. Anyway.
I can second that. Very base tag.
All right, Girth Brooks. 69.
Shout out Girth Brooks.
69
That's the best
420.
name. The best name on Twitch is GirthBrook69420. Sorry, go ahead.
Will there be more Outback Steakhouse streams? Did you do an Outback Steakhouse stream?
Okay, I did not do an Outback Steakhouse stream. Also, that place is terrible. They can't cook a steak fucking medium rare. The only thing redeeming there is the blooming onion. Fuck Outback. I'm just kidding. I did not do a stream there. I did a stream at Red Lobster with my mother because it is on the. I talked about that wheel earlier that spins that has a variety of rewards on it, and one of them was take my mom to Red Lobster. There's a big meme about Red Lobster in my stream because back in a long time ago when I used to stream, I used to raid other streamers, males and females, and my chat would persistently spam and ask them if they'd go on a date with me to Red Lobster. That's where that comes from. One of the funniest ones is Puggin. I remember it was a long time ago, and I had like I had a good stream that day. I had like 40 viewers, something. I was really excited. I was like, I'm gonna raid a bigger streamer today. And I rated Puggin, and my chat kept asking him to go to Red Lobster with me. And I don't know, maybe he wasn't having a good day. He got pissed off. He was like, I don't know what the Red Lobster thing is, Joe, but it's kind of cringe, man.
Jesus Christ.
He did not like the Red Lobster questions. And the funniest part is years later, I was in Zandy's chat, topping a Pepe L, listening to the blaring hardstyle, and Puggin asked me in the chat, he said, yo, didn't you raid me years ago? And I was kind of mad and said some mean things. I just added him and I said, yeah, fuck you, bro, to be honest.
Holy fuck.
But then I DM'd him and I was like, I'm just joking. No hard feelings. It's fine.
Yeah. No.
I have a screenshot of that picture though. That's a good going live tweet one day.
That's so funny. Because I could totally imagine that just not being in the mood and people are like really hyperactive.
Yeah,
but
they were going hard for it too.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know. You got to just not take it seriously.
Yeah, I had a couple negative interactions with the Red Lobster date request, so it's, Yeah.
All right. Hamster asks, how much to crush me with your thighs? And then he says, can you stop bullying me about my hardcore Ironman death and say hamster correctly?
I call him Hampshire. And I will
Hamster.
continue to do that, and or hamster. That's fine. I'm not sure how it's supposed. Do you know how it's supposed to actually be said? I remember he's told me like 10 times. I can't be asked.
Yeah, it's just hamster.
Oh, okay, all right, that makes sense. I did talk about his hardcore death recently because Mr. Only Trails died recently to Cerberus. And I did like Hampshire tweeted and was like, yeah, when he dies, everybody's like, amazing account, great progression, outstanding. I died of Cerberus on my hardcore. Fucking idiot, dumbass. What are you doing? He's not wrong at all. Like when he died, he's just getting flamed immensely by everybody. I don't bully him. I think he was brave, but dumb to try and learn Cerberus on a hardcore account. That's probably not a good idea. I would have let him borrow my account. I told him, I was like, you could have literally borrowed my account and did some Cerb KC for, because I needed the pet.
Yep.
So you could do some KC for me. But, and to crush the thighs, one gifted subscription to Sae Bae, and I will make it happen.
Damn, you heard that, hamster?
Or actually, that's kind of low. 10.
There we go. See, I was
Sorry,
like...
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good. All right. Lamillion asks, do you have a favorite type of music to listen to specifically while working out or just anything wide?
Yes, when I'm working out, it's typically very heavy dubstep or like metal, like rock, like metal.
Okay.
Or heavy dubstep when I work out, yeah. But during the streams, I always play, typically every now and then I'll throw a very wide dubstep song on or sort, but typically I listen to primarily tech house mixes, drum and bass here and there, which I know everybody makes fun of as the standard. And I play trance too. Actually, you and Fat Clouds are the ones who got me into trance, so thank you for that. Because I do think it's a great genre. I enjoy trance sometimes as well.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like any genre, there's always good and bad music.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah. D&B is kind of like the pop of the old school community.
That's the thing though, like there's some D&B, it's that mainstream kind of D&B that I don't really like, but there's like some
there's some
more
good
like
stuff.
There's some good stuff as
No,
well.
there
though.
really is, and I try not to be. Now with hard style, it's almost all bad stuff. No, but
Bong, 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 bong,
like, okay,
bong.
I'm not gonna lie. There are some hard style that's decent, and the reason it's decent is because the song itself is amazing, and then they made a hard style cover to it. So it's
You
like
just don't
something
like the beat.
I'm already into it because the song's already familiar, but then they ruin it, but it's not quite ruined. It's like having your favorite beverage and then pouring alcohol into it.
My favorite description of hardstyle music is the one that Neil 4D made to me. He said it's like taking a empty 2-liter bottle of any soft drink and beating it with a stick.
That is so accurate. It's like those Nerf bats. Remember those like wiffle balls and those Nerf bats you'd hit? Just boom, bang a huge like 2-liter bottle with that shit.
Here's the thing. I like hardstyle, but just in moderation. I'll play like a couple songs here and there. I can't do like hours of it. I could definitely do a couple songs though. And I think some of the lead ups and like the lyrics and the singing and hardstyle songs, like the covers you're talking about, are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
some are decent. Some are decent. I hate to even admit that. Like that pains me to admit it because I've always just been such a hard-styled like non-enthusiast. But
I like it, but it definitely in moderation. Definitely moderation.
All right. Madam Mage asks, have you actually been to prison though? Sorry, I'm new. And then Reed responds with the common knowledge that yes, you did 7 years for tax evasion.
I did not do 7 years for tax evasion, but every year I do my taxes. I feel like I might go to prison for it with the like wide variety of different things I'm expensing. I remember not this year, but the year before, when I used to do the big beef stream, which is where I would cover myself in oil. This is a long time ago, but I remember I expensed the oil that I bought. It's like $150 worth of oil, and I expensed it on my taxes. I love America.
I love it. All right. Cam asks, any tips on leg workouts? I just can't seem to get any movement or muscle growth with my workouts. Much love, sir. Shout out, Cam.
Leg day is the bane of most men's existence, including mine. Like I've luckily carried around 300 pounds for a number of years and have good leg genetics. Outside of calves, it's like impossible to grow my calves. I've been trying; they just get more veiny. They don't actually grow. But really, there's no advice. It's really just you gotta. If you get to the gym, that's a W on leg day. It's a tough day. It is. It's a tough one. It's not glamorous. It's definitely a grind. You definitely want to save your best music for that day. You want to save the day you know where you're gonna get the most sleep. That's the day you want to do legs. Like you want to be in the best. You can't wing it. You gotta commit. So.
Yeah, I did a leg day like 4 days ago, and I still, when I stretch my legs out like I'm doing right now, they are so insanely sore still because it's just been so long since I did it.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's the tried and true DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness. It is, and it's always worse the second, third day.
Yeah, it's the second day. Just you can't even sit on the toilet.
The lactic acid building up. And honestly, one of the best ways I tell people to get rid of that, if you are getting into working out and you go too hard on your first leg day and you literally can't take a shit the next day, go outside and run like half a mile. Not run, but just jog it. It'll get a lot of that acid like moving around and get it out of there and make your legs feel better. Or you can try the cold as well, like ice bath, polar plunge type deal. That works well too. Just some tips.
I love the feeling. I mean, mainly because I don't have to do anything. I can just sit on my ass. But like,
it's an accomplishing feeling when you like every now and then I go hard enough to where I get it pretty decently, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Flava asks, Prison Joe, you're looking very handsome today. Doesn't even ask it, he just says it.
Oh, I appreciate Dr. Flavor. He's been hanging out in the stream of late. He's a good guy. Shout out to him.
All right. Lopsy asks, can we do a no GI? Is that what he's saying?
That's a gi.
Gi rolling session at TwitchCon. What's that?
That he's talking about jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He just started recently going, and he's getting into it. And I would love to roll him. It would look strange. It would look like me like rolling with a small child, but I would definitely do it. So we can definitely make it happen. We got plenty of room at the place we got, like I said earlier. So
hell yeah,
plenty of room for activities. We can make it happen.
All right, Mr. Easyscape asks, have you ever tried squeezing a watermelon between them thick ass thighs? If so, why is there a video? And if it has been accomplished, can you try my head next? Jesus Christ. It's got dark, deep, or
Mr.
really,
Easyscape, Very horny guy, but very wholesome guy. Shout out to him. He's also a very community oriented guy. Tries to get events going, so I appreciate him for all he stands for. I would definitely. That's honestly like if I ever do another. I don't really plan to do another sellout slash subathon type stream, but that would honestly be a good incentive, wouldn't it? Me crushing a watermelon with my thighs,
Or Mr.
or anybody
Easyscape's
else.
head.
Maybe somebody else out there. Him too. Also, that'd be fine too. But anybody else out there listening, if you're gonna do a subathon and you got strong thighs, that's a good goal. We could probably get that going. I mean, everybody. I feel like right now the shoey is a big thing in the section.
Yeah.
But we should honestly get some watermelon crushing going. That would be good. I think that's solid. Someone has to do that. If not, I'm going to tell some. That's a good idea, actually. So
That is.
thank you.
All right, Saint Tits. There's one unique question, and that is, what are the plans for the future?
First off, shout out to Mr. Saintits. If it was not for him, I would not stream. He is one of my IRL best friends and the person who got me back into old school RuneScape. I met him in college, and he's the one who got me back into RuneScape. So I love him. He's amazing. And for the future, definitely max the account. Hopefully I can get it done in the next couple months. And then I'm going to keep playing, doing the pet hunting, reevaluate. Maybe I'll take a break after that. I'm not sure. But I do think that there's a possibility of an Ironman account in the future for sure. So.
All right. Okay, this guy. Okay. Okay. How do I phrase this? When people's names are something like some agenda they want in the game, it's a little weird. But to be honest, I'm not against agendas. Just like making your whole like identity that is a little weird. But anyway, shout out Dude Tree.
Are you talking shit about Adicon right now?
You know what? I can't talk shit about Adicon because I just respect him too much. He can basically do no wrong. There are people that just can do no wrong, and he's one of them. But like, yeah, if you're not world record in some sort of PVM thing,
that is true. And I always talk about like RuneScape is it's at the core rhythm based game, and determinant of how good you are at it is typically how many hours you put into it. But there's still that upper echelon level of players like him where they're just completely different human.
Yep. All right. He asks, ever considered YouTube content creation? I think this is a great suggestion, by the way. Stuff like ToB Tuesday with new guests every week would probably do well. That's a guarantee to do well. If you just compiled a bunch of clips.
I mean, like I said, part of the reason why my favorite content have been ToB and the skilling streams is because they've been the most successful streams, at least numbers wise and interaction wise with my chat. It's one of those things where it's a time thing. Like if I had more time, I definitely would. Like if I pursued content creation full time, I'd 100% try YouTube. I'd try all kinds of different stuff. I have all kinds of crazy ideas in my head. ToB Tuesday is just one that came naturally to me because I was looking, and I was like, we play a game where like co-op is encouraged. There's so many different pieces of content that we can do together, right? And I can't think of any streamers who are, using that aspect to their advantage. And I think one of the good examples, I know that these guys are huge streamers and would be successful regardless, but the farmers, that's a collaborative, like they're in voice together, they're talking, like they're killing it, and I had the same thought with ToB Tuesday, have somebody in voice call, do the ToB. It was tough at first because I wasn't very good at ToB, so I was more focused on the game, but I've kind of gotten to the point to where I can focus less and still get the KC, and the conversation is better. And I love ToB Tuesday. It's been great. I've had tons of people on there with me. And
you have. You really have. How many people do you know? Do you know like a number?
Probably 20 to 25 different content creators and all different size. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if you have 10 viewers or 200. I've done it with streamers who have much bigger communities than mine and streamers who have smaller communities than mine. I enjoy the collaborative aspect of it, and it's just fun. I always look forward to those streams. They're great. I have Dwight Part 2 coming up, and we also have Doll Blush next month as well, which will be very entertaining.
Hell yeah.
So, I'm excited for those streams. So,
all right. Furry Wall asks, thoughts on item lending being implemented into OSRS, or what about the skill assist system? So let me just real quickly say, like, I didn't play back then, but I know of it. I know that there was a system where you could trade, but it was only for like a day or something like that, and you could just lend any item to somebody, and it would instantly like it would be returned to you, like it was part of the game.
Yes,
there was no scamming of it.
I don't know what he's talking about in regard to the skill system, so I'm not going to speak on that. But the lending, I do remember that. I remember it helping me when I played the game before, for sure. I think, I don't know. I would say no. I don't feel like it's necessary, if that makes sense.
I would say no as well.
Yeah, if it was already in the game, like okay, but I don't think there's really any benefit or super negative about adding. I just think that it's not really either way. It's better just being left out, I think. That's just my opinion though.
I heard there were some really big negatives actually. I can't really talk too much on it.
There might be. I wouldn't be. I have not looked into it enough to know to be educated to speak on it.
I apparently like AGS's, they just super skyrocketed to like 100 mil plus or something like that, and the only way for like the average PKer to get it is to lend it. So you'd have these rich motherfuckers just hoarding all AGSs, and they would lend them out, and so they're just constantly making money, and they would let the market just rise and rise and rise. I don't know exactly how the economy works, but that was part of the issues. Is like,
that's true too. Now that I think about it, there'd be people paying, like you'd be paying for services of lending items. There'd be like lending item services. Yeah, I see how that could get sketchy real quick.
Yeah. All right. Tasty Life asks, most memorable ToB Tuesday guests / moments. Favorite thing about your job. What do you think are the best and worst aspects of Twitch culture? And Jet Dreams, baby.
Jet Dreams, baby. Those are good questions. The answer to the first one, one of my favorite it's a ToB Tuesday / tasty video / just absolute craziness, was the ToB where it was a cold one on his hardcore Ironman, Mr. Tasty, myself, and Blush doing raids, doing ToB. And there's a Tasty video on it. Go watch it. It's hilarious. But a cold one survived somehow. He was very close to dying on Maiden one time, but it would have been nobody's fault but his own. It was just a bad blood spawn. He almost died. Luckily, he is a mega gamer and teleported out in time. But that's definitely one of the more memorable ones. And it was widespread. Like we were in the top of the section the entire time. It was very good content, very entertaining.
Hell yeah.
And then another one is definitely Mr. Whale getting his scythe on his ultimate Ironman on ToB Tuesday.
What?
That was awesome.
I didn't know that. That's dope.
Yes, he did. Yes, I got to see it live. That's the most excited I've seen him get in a while too. I was more excited than him. That's one of the best things too about ToB Tuesday is bringing the Ironmen on who don't have certain items, and like the chance they get it live with me. Like I would read, like I need one of the main reasons I already got the ToB pet. I did get the ToB pet recently, the little Zik, but I'm still doing it just for the monetary purpose of I need money. I need to get a few more drops so I can finish off construction. I want to do mahogany tables, so which is decently expensive. Yeah, him getting his scythe on his Ultimate Ironman live that's probably one of the top moments for sure. That was really cool.
That's dope.
And then on my birthday, I just got drunk and streamed ToB with like everybody, like streamers, viewers, just everyone. And I ended up getting I did a raid with Chershi, Tasty, and Ali or AYR Ball, and I got the ToB pet, which was really cool. That's definitely a top moment as well.
Hell yeah.
What was the
favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing about the job is the freeing aspect of not being, I guess, financially stressed about Twitch at all. That's probably one of the best aspects of it, and I just feel more freedom. I know that I've never dealt with this, but I do know there's certain situations with streamers where they have certain chatters who are very financially supportive of their stream, but that person kind of like expects something in return, if you know what I'm talking about. Yep. And I see it happen all the time, and it's unfortunate. And the streamers who do it full time, they feel pressure to keep that person around because, unfortunately, they're like providing them the financial support they need at a high level. And there's that pressure there. And I've seen that end very badly a few different times. And, you know, that's just an example, but things like that, it's just freeing. And I would say the negative side, I talked about it earlier, is just the consistency aspect of where I can't stream as much as I'd like.
Yeah.
Was there one more question on there?
Yeah.
Or no?
What do you think are the best and worst aspects of Twitch culture?
Well, I guess that leads in with that. That's definitely what I just talked about. Is definitely one of the worst. Is certain viewers who are blessed to be financially successful and kind of like they kind of influence streamers and kind of like make them feel pressured to do what they make them feel pressured, like they want this some type of attention or want them to do some type of content, whatever it may be. They are pressuring them just due to the fact that they are supporting them so heavily financially, and that streamer obviously doesn't want to lose that person because they want to keep content creating full time.
Yep.
That's definitely one of the negative things. Also, I kind of touched on earlier in regard to female streamers, some of the shit they have to deal with, some of the fucking just absolute rancid creatures that come into their chats and message them. You know, like I usually ask, like when I have a female streamer on ToB Tuesday, I will ask them, like on average, how many messages by men they get, like when they're not streaming. And most of them typically say anywhere from like 20 to like 40 messages every day. Just fucking weird, just fucking weird shit. So, and you know, no one deserves that. It's unfortunate. So those are definitely some negatives, but the positives are the ones, because there are also, on the flip side, there's also people who support us streaming who don't expect anything in return, really humble people, good chatters, moderators, whatever they may be. They're always there. I think every streamer has those certain Twitch viewers who they know are always going to show up to their stream. Maybe not every single time, but, you know, 95% of the time, you know they're going to be there. You know they're going to be chatting, joking, whatever it may be. And I think all of us, every time I go live, I look forward to seeing those certain people.
Hell yeah. All right. I am looking through the topics. I'm not seeing any that are dying to be answered. So what I will do now is ask you 2 questions on my own. So,
okay.
And if you have, let me ask you as well. Do you have anything else that you would like to add before we kind of start wrapping things up?
No, those are great topics. Appreciate everybody who left a comment, especially the streamers as well. I know everybody's really busy, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so my question is 2 questions. What is your favorite item in the game?
Oh my!
Out of every item, not that you necessarily have, but any.
It has to be. Does this have to be an equipable item?
Nope, just anything that can be in your inventory.
So I could say runite ore.
Yep, you could say
okay,
a Verzic pet.
I'm not saying that. Yeah. I would definitely say my favorite thing that I have is definitely my 1KC nibbler pet. That's my favorite.
Fucking go.
For sure.
Okay.
And you know what? The funny thing about my account is I've had some terrible RNG in places, and I have an account that got a 1KC Jad pet and a 1KC nibbler pet, which
that's
is
insane.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jad was my first pet ever. I remember I was like 20 years old, 21 years old, or 21. I was definitely 21 because I was drunk. And
definitely 21. Yeah, right. Yeah, 21. Okay.
And I remember finally killing Jad. It's like my second or third try, and I freaked out. It was just, you know, that's kind of when I got hooked up. The feeling of getting a pet is just amazing. I don't know. I love it. That's why I really enjoy it. But
I actually got a pet last night. I got my heron.
I saw that on Twitter. Congrats.
That was cool. And I literally looked at my client right as I got it. It was really cool. It was like a split second before I looked, and then I got it.
Is there a clip of it?
Nah, because it was just on my...
Oh, you're offline. Okay.
Yeah, I was just editing videos, and I was just fishing AFK. So
nice.
That was cool, though. All right, my last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years, or where would you like to be in 5 years? Just in life in general, or on Twitch, or anything?
That is in regards to Twitch, that is a very difficult question, just due to the volatile nature of how Twitch is. I would like to still be streaming. I don't think I'd be too old to where it'd be weird if I was still streaming. I would like to still stream in some sense. I've had, I don't know, maybe I won't be streaming RuneScape. I'd like to still be streaming. I know I've done well with IRL streams. I've had success in that. I've had a lot of people tell me that they enjoy those streams more than anything I've done. I was like, okay, thanks. But yeah, I like to still be streaming, and I would like to still be working and doing what I do now. Hopefully at a higher level, maybe with more responsibility. And same with the RuneScape. Hopefully, maybe more representing the HLC instead of just the casual shitter who plays his main account. Who knows? I'm still learning, still progressing in my account. Like I said, I don't play that much off stream. I have been a lot here in the past months, but it's just been skilling.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to learning more and getting better at this game we all love.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna now ask you for 3 shout outs. So,
3 shout outs?
Anybody in the community that you think deserves it.
That's a tough one. Now, the first one is easy, and it is a 1. Shout out to Fat Clouds. I love Fat Clouds. He's helped me a ton in building my community. He's inspired me in a lot of different ways. I have a lot of respect and admiration for him. I love him. I love his stream. I hope he hears this, and big shout out to him. My second shout out will be to Mr. T Papa Slice. Me and him have kindled quite the bromance the past year or so. I love T Papa. He definitely deserves a shout out. I know he just applied to be a Twitch partner. I'm sure he'll get it. His YouTube's killing it. Shout out to his YouTube. He's got a very good video coming out that involves redacted and redacted that I'm very excited about seeing. Hopefully he'll release it soon.
I'm excited too.
And the third shout out, I guess I can't think of someone in specific. I guess the community. Shout out to the community, all of you guys, all the streamers. I appreciate everyone. I love everyone. The last thing I want is drama or anything with anybody. I talk a lot. I joke a lot. But primary theme of my stream is sarcasm. I'm pretty lax. I'm pretty laid back. I really don't get serious too much. Every now and then maybe, but I appreciate everyone. I didn't think I really never thought that my stream would turn into anything. Honestly, I really didn't. It's still amazing to me. And honestly, if I'm just as happy with 500 viewers or 10 viewers. As long as I got somebody to talk to, I will continue to stream. So thank you.
Hell yeah. That was a nice way to wrap things up. Prison Joe or Seth, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. You got work coming up, but I do.
Kroger is calling. Wow.
Yeah. I just want to say, Kroger's just been so many calls unanswered. You got to answer. You got to pick up the phone, man. No, but real talk, I'm really fucking glad we did this. We sat down, had a nice conversation. I've been looking forward to this. That was a good conversation.
Literally, everybody always says it flies by when you talk to Sater. It really does.
3.5 hours. 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't have Pig Noble, but maybe people won't be as intimidated by
that. That is on me, by the way. If it wasn't for me late starting this cast, we would have surpassed it. This would have been a 10-hour ordeal. But
yeah, we probably would have went a little bit longer, but it's okay. I feel confident that I've said everything I kind of wanted to say, and we touched on all the topics pretty well. So I'm definitely happy with it. It was great. I appreciate you for having me on, and to anybody watching, please stay wide and stay hard.
I want to say, I'm tempted on doing maybe some repeat guests and squeezing them into like new guests. So I'd have a new guest every week, but then occasional squeezing in, so it's like a double week.
Of course.
I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe a T Papa Prison Joe cast or something like that.
I think that he would be more than happy to do that, and I would be more than happy to do that. That would be quite the podcast. Because when we get together, awesome. it gets quite hectic. So maybe it'll be like
awesome.
It'll be kind of like a starter for a podcast. Maybe we'll start one day. We can give it a little test run.
Oh yeah. No, I would really want to do that. So just look out for it in the future, everybody listening. Prison Joe, much love. Guys, go follow Prison Joe on Twitch and on Twitter. And you better make a YouTube. I need to see some ToB Tuesday compilations. So
I might dabble. We'll see.
Consider it. And guys, thank you very much for listening. As always, if you would like to support the Sae Bae cast for $2 a month as a Patreon pledge, there's a link down in the description. And that's it from me. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.